cupful of goals, unfortunately. We've just had another 0-0 draw between Morocco and Croatia. And that's really interesting because it's in the same group as Canada and Belgium, and that's going to really set those teams up now. Both teams have got something to play for. I don't think there's anything here for Canada and Belgium to necessarily fear, but just scoring is seemingly so hard at this World Cup that it seems like most teams, the smaller nations in particular, have arrived wanting to make it difficult for other teams to score. They've arrived wanting to shut the back door, basically. And so they're kind of cancelling out the big nations. And the big nations, they are taking a few risks, but not really that many, because they don't want to lose. They've seen what's happened with Argentina. And obviously it seems like the smaller nations have kind of really tightened things up. So we're seeing a lot of 0-0 draws. That will change as the situation changes. No one wants to lose their first game. Losing your first game is bad. It really puts you in a bad situation. But so no one wants to lose the first game. So everyone's being quite tight. Everyone's being quite cagey. And it's sadly resulting in a lot of first round 0-0s. What I would say is that should change as we progress. As we move forward, we should start to see that change as the landscape changes. And as we start to see a lot more attacking because teams need to attack because they're on the verge of going out, the game should open up a little bit more. So at the moment, we are seeing, as we said, a lot of 0-0s. Don't know that we're going to see that in Germany and Japan, because this should be fun, man. I mean, Germany have got some attacking threat. Obviously, they've got Musiala, who is a wonderful player. Someone that us here in England are gutted at losing, because he is a real talent, and he was someone that could have played for England, did play for England at a youth level, but decided to switch and represent Germany. So that's disappointing from an English perspective, but he is a wonderful talent. He's got Müller next to him. Obviously, Gnabry can get goals. Havertz up front as well. Germany will be very defensive. They will be very tight. They will keep things well organised. You always get that with Germany, well organised, like structures. They are very disciplined. You don't see German teams getting destroyed. And clearly that's not going to happen here against Japan. But Japan have got attacking threat. Japan are decent. This is Japan's 7th straight World Cup. So this isn't like they're complete nobodies. We've seen a lot of teams already, like 750 to 1, 1,000 to 1. Japan, 500 to 1. So they're outsiders to win the World Cup. But they are a team that have got through the group stages before. I think they've only got one win in recent times, though, at the World Cup. They're a team that do get a fair few draws and obviously losses, but they're quick, they're dynamic, they're lots of short passing from Japan. They are quite good on the counters. They've got very fluid forwards. So, as I said, there's going to be some attacking threat here by both sides. It's just really how they set up. Germany will always keep it tight. I really don't know how Japan approach this. I feel like they might sit back and try and catch Germany on the counter. We're seeing a lot of that. Certainly from the unfavoured nations. But I was looking at the percentage rate of the match, win percentage, 60-odd% for Germany. And I think it's like 20-odd% for Japan and about 20-odd% for the draw. So that's kind of how this shapes out. We are expecting Germany to win. But they could start slow, and Japan could catch them. And obviously, we've got Spain and Costa Rica coming up afterwards. They're in the same group. It's a tough little group, this, It's a tough group. I mean, it feels like Spain-Germany should be the two that go through. It really feels like they're the two that should be progressing. But you really can't rule out there being a banana skin here. You really can't rule out there being a team that pips one of them instead. I feel pretty good about Spain going through. If a team was going to miss out, it would be Germany. But, I don't know who would take their place. I feel like Japan would probably be most likely. But yeah, let's see. Looking forward to it. James, hello. Hope you are well. Dort Knight said Gnabry is very capable of scoring multiple goals in a game. Smooth Realism said, I'm Hispanic and I hate soccer. Needless to say, I haven't made a lot of Hispanic friends in my lifetime. Yeah, well, it's a religion around the world, isn't it? Like in certain places. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the World Cup so far has been all right. Like, it feels like there's a few times where we go, now the World Cup started. And I don't know, it hasn't really... I kind of feel... The World Cup started, obviously, with Qatar and Ecuador. But having watched that game, and it was, not the most gripping of games, and they're not the biggest of nations, it kind of felt like when England played, it's like now the World Cup started, loads of goals. And England, obviously a big nation as well, one of the favourites, doing well. And it's like, right, now we're up and running. But then after that, like a lot of the games that came were a bit of a stalemate. We saw type 1-1 with USA and Wales, which was interesting. But we've seen a lot of 0-0s since as well. So it's kind of like when Argentina lost, I saw a load of people going, now the World Cup started. But then since then, we've had a lot of cagey matches again. There's been 0-0 between Denmark and Tunisia, obviously a 0-0 again this morning. France doing well, though, with their 4-1 victory last night. Watched that, enjoyed that. I thought it was a good game for the first 70 minutes, and then that's it. France had it won, didn't they? And they sort of saw the game out. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know quite what I'm waiting for. I think what I'm waiting for is consistency with the excitement, if you will. I'm waiting for a game to be a banger, and then the next game's a banger, and the game after that is as well. And we're into the rhythm of the world. That's the World Cup to me. I mean, how often do you watch an incredible game at the World Cup and then tune into the next game and it's just a whole different level of drama? And maybe, it's the early stages, of course. We're still well into the first round. So, as I said, as we progress further into the tournament, teams start opening out a little bit more. They're not going to be as defensive. That's when I think we'll really start to see, that consistency. Right now, we're just seeing teams that don't want to lose. We're just seeing teams that just saying, Morocco, for example. Morocco looked defensively solid. Morocco are not a team that are really on my radar at all. And they are a team that I expected to not struggle, but I didn't really expect them to be able to keep Croatia to a 0-0 draw. But here we are. Disappointment for Croatia, but great result for Morocco, picking up a point. As we said, don't lose your first game, and that keeps them in this tournament. The other two teams in this group are Canada and Belgium. I feel like this result today is good for Canada, because Canada, if they lose, they're only 1 point behind two teams in their group. So it's not like they've pulled ahead. So I would say this is a decent result for Canada here. It means that no teams are really pulling away. If they lose to Belgium, it's only Belgium that have really took the lead. They'll be out on 3 points. And then you've got Morocco and you've got Croatia on 1 point each. And then obviously Canada would be on no points. And I think most people expect Belgium to beat Canada later. But who knows? We all saw Saudi Arabia and what they did yesterday. Do Canada have a chance to upset Belgium? I would say so. I would say there's definitely an opportunity. Canada finishing top of their qualifying group, for example. But that's later. We're focused on now. And what's coming up now is the Germans. The Germans are here. Germany, one of the most successful nations in the history of the World Cup, have arrived. And it is time for them to take the stage. Disappointment 4 years ago. They, I don't believe, got out the group 4 years ago. This is a nation that has got to so many finals, so many semi-finals. One of the most successful nations in the history of the World Cup, in the history of international football. And for them to go out in the group stage is unacceptable, frankly. But They are going to look to bounce back. They've got a new manager. Obviously, the low era has ended. So they've got a new manager, and we'll have to see kind of what they can bring. I expect them to be a typical German team, well organised, good on the counter, good on the attack. But as I said, defence first, organised first, well structured, hard to break down. That's kind of what you expect from a German team. Days, Barcelona could sign Ruben Neves. I don't know where they're getting this money from. They've got all this money. They've bought all these players. And then they go crashing out of the Champions League. And now they're back buying more players. Like, what financial levers are they pulling now? What financial levers are there left to pull? I mean, they sold stakes in their, film company. I think they, sold loads of assets to generate money to buy a load of players and kind of, create the team they have now, because financially they're in big trouble. And now they're off buying more players. Jeez Louise. They really need, and I'm sure they have got some players coming through their academy. They could really do with a good crop of homegrown players to really, aid that team at the moment, because they are in big financial trouble, and going out of the Champions League is something which is going to really financially hurt them. Right, the talking point at the moment, and I don't know if you've heard this news, I know that many of you will have, is that the German FA are actually looking to take FIFA to court over the One Love armband. They're not happy at the fact that they have been told they're not allowed to wear it, and so they're taking FIFA to court over that. It would be nice to see some of the other associations jump in and maybe be a part of it as well, rather than just be the German FA on their own. But it's interesting, isn't it? This is a World Cup that we've spoke a lot about the political side of things, and FIFA have made a decision, and now courts are getting involved and everything. So it's a bit random. Can you do your Friday song? No, it's illegal for me to do it when it's not a Friday. I'm only allowed to sing the Friday song on Friday. Any other day would result in me being taken to court by the German FA as well. So my hands are tied, Steve. My hands are tied. Will Rally Sport shares question. Do you think Ronaldo goes to Chelsea or Real Madrid? I feel like Chelsea's probably an option because they've expressed an interest to a degree. I don't know that Potter is going to want him. I don't know that it's going to help Chelsea. I don't know. I don't know if anyone other than the owners are interested in Ronaldo at Chelsea. But Ronaldo going to Chelsea is something I can definitely see. It feels like Chelsea want to make a statement. They want to bring in some big names. They want to show that, they have got intent. And to those that don't really know about football, getting Ronaldo is going to do that, isn't it? Because it's a name that even casual fans are aware of. And it's a big boost to your commercial side of the business. And all of that has got to be very appealing. But at the end of the day, on the pitch, you are a bit limited with how you can play him, basically. That he's not versatile. He is going to be up front. He's not going to be tracking back, closing down. He is going to be someone that you are going to have to try and get the ball to, and then he'll put it in the net for you, right? And as a striker, you can't really ask for too much more than that. But I think the whole closing down, tracking back, defending as a unit, looking at a team more as a team than it being an individual. I mean, maybe you can afford to have Ronaldo be an exception, but that's not the direction that Manchester United have gone in. Man United have got a team that get back and work as a unit, and we're seeing better results as a result. And it's just nice to have that kind of work rate. For the longest time, Man United fans were frustrated at the lack of energy that was being shown and fight that was being shown. And the work rate just didn't seem to be there. And we're seeing much improvements in those departments this season. And is it a coincidence that we're not seeing as much of Ronaldo? I don't know. I do feel like he gets blamed for a lot of stuff that's not his fault. I do think that like anything wrong at United tends to be like to do with Ronaldo, but and that's clearly not going to be the case. So I do feel a bit sorry for him. But I don't know. I mean, you've got to spend a lot of money in wages. It's a big financial investment. It's a big financial investment to limit your options as a team. He is someone that is, you know, a wonderful player, even now at this age. I mean, some of the heroics he did for United in Europe last season, you know, last minute winners, you know, that's the kind of magic moments you expect from Ronaldo. Like, he can still provide those magic moments, but I think he just doesn't fit into many top teams' plans anymore. Like, it feels like the game has evolved. It feels like the game is ever changing. It's ever evolving. New tactics are being looked at. And it feels like Ronaldo is just that step behind. Can he find a team? Is there a team out there that can afford him and can play him and get the best out of him and, you know, have him as the central point of the team and have the team play around him and everyone knows Ronaldo's the man. You feed the ball to, like, if you set it up and, like, you know, go with it, is there a team out there that would do that? I really don't know. I mean, Real Madrid, 100% no. Definitely no. 100% no. Not going to Real Madrid. As I said, the game has evolved. They have got players now like Benzema, like Vinicius Jr. They know how they play. They are not interested in bringing in Ronaldo, shoving him up front, having the ball come into him and all this kind of stuff. Like, the game's moved on. So, not Real Madrid. The only reason that Chelsea would go for him is because of the owners. The owners are interested in Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. The names that I've heard more so are like Sporting Lisbon in Portugal. That's a club where he started out at. They tend to get Champions League football, but they don't do very well. Like, they tend to go out in the group stages. They can't afford him. He would have to take a wage reduction, but they idolise him there. And they would happily bring him back. And the fans would love him. And they would build the team around him. And it would be... It feels like that's probably where he should go. He should go back to where it started. The only thing is, as we've seen with United, don't go back. Like, you know, if you're idolised somewhere, leave it. Stay idolised. Because you could always run the risk of going back and, like, ruining your relationship with the fans, like what we've seen at Man United, unfortunately. So part of me thinks, like, yeah, go to Sporting. They tend to get Champions League football. They would love you. They would build the team around you. The only downsides, you'd have to take a wage reduction, and you would also run the risk of souring your relationship with that club and that fan base if things started to go wrong. Outside of that, I think there's a lot of clubs that would take him for the right price. I mean, as much as I'm not laying into him, but I'm just saying that he's got limitations. Yeah, he's 38 years old. He's got limitations. So a club to spend that much money, invest that much money in someone that's got limitations, rather than go and get like a bright young prospect. It's going to be a bit limited, to be honest. It really is limited. It's really hard to know where those options are. I mean, the conversation are Saudi teams, MLS. You know, if he goes to Major League Soccer, it'd destroy that league. If he went to Major League Soccer, imagine Ronaldo in that league. Any of those teams would benefit from Ronaldo. The conversation we're having, we're talking about the top elite European sides. Does Ronaldo make Bayern better? Does he make Real Madrid better? Does he make, I don't know, Liverpool better? Like, I think there's an argument that he doesn't. I think there's a real argument that he doesn't. I think he's an option, and he's a nice option to have, and for the right price, you would have him. But at that price, No, I don't think that there's going to be many clubs that come in for him. You know, there's clubs that are looking at the likes of Bellingham that want to spend their money on Bellingham. There's clubs that are looking at, like, I don't know, Gavi and Pedri and Felix and, you know, all this young talent that's coming through. Musiala. You know, these are the names that people are looking at. This is where people want to spend their money. So it's going to be really interesting. I mean, the one team that has been a bit of a question mark that's a top European side is PSG. But I think PSG won't go for him. The reason why I say that is because I think, first of all, Mbappe wants it to be the Mbappe show, right? He's probably not happy. He's already got to share it with, you know, Neymar and Messi. Like, in Mbappe's world, he would just love to be the star and not have to compete with these big names. He certainly is not going to want to have to compete with Ronaldo. So I don't think Mbappe is going to be over the moon about Ronaldo coming in. And as well, you know, they've got... I think they've seen that bringing in, like, big stars, big individuals, does not result in a great team. Like, I think they've learnt that lesson. I hope they've learnt that lesson. Because no one in the world has got an attacking lineup as exciting as PSG. But PSG still cannot win the Champions League. You know, Mbappe, Messi. I mean, look at that front line. Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi. I mean, they should be dominating the French League, and they didn't win the French League the other year. They should be winning Champions Leagues, or certainly getting through to finals. They're not. So, you know, PSG have learnt some harsh lessons about building a team of individuals. And so, I don't know. They're a team that you look at and go, would they? Because they've done that kind of thing in the past. But even now, I don't think they would. I have no idea where he's being linked. I haven't seen a single report as to where he's going. I'm sure there's a lot of clubs talking about it. I'm sure there's a lot of clubs interested. But they would only be interested at the right price. And I really don't know if that's Ronaldo's price. So it's a very interesting conversation. Very interesting. I think Ronaldo's ego will stop him going to Saudi Arabia or USA, said Dortmund. Messi is only 11 goals behind him in the Champions League. If Messi gets 5 or 6 more next year, he might worry. Edward says he thinks he'll go to PSG. He's free and it'll be United paying his wages wherever he goes, says Edwards. Don't believe that's true. It's the end of his... he's not being loaned out. His contract's been terminated. United won't pay his wages. So his contract's been terminated by mutual agreement. So he's out now. He's out there. I feel like we probably have given him a chunk of money to end the contract. None of that has been disclosed. So I don't know what the situation is in regards to how much we've had to pay to get rid of him. But yeah, that's it. He's gone. He's done. Teams like Morocco are underrated with 2 talented wing-backs in Hakimi and Nazuri. Bono as a showstopper goalkeeper and Ziyech as a creative midfielder, says EZ99. What time is it in the UK? It is 24 minutes past midday, 24 minutes past 12. And we have got about just over half an hour until we go over to Germany against Japan. What I want to do is I just want to have a look and see if the team news has come in. Obviously, as we turn our attention over to this game. Quite happy to still talk about whatever you want to talk about, though. But let's have a look and see if the team news is in for Germany. Germany. Where is their football team? Germany team. Right, here we go. So, Neuer, Rudiger, Rahm, Kimmich, Havertz, Gnabry, Müller, Musiala, Sul, Gundogan, and Schlotterbeck. Now, is that the predicted team? I don't think it is. No, slightly different to the predicted team. So let's get that changed over. So we should have the team news now. There we go. Okay, so we do have updated team news. Not too different, in all fairness, from what we were expecting. And the predicted team, just slight changes in the defense. So we will change that over now. Germany, as we said, well organised, really going to be hard to break down. They've got something to prove as well after two recent... I mean, I suppose the Euros weren't too bad. I mean, they got out the group of death. It's just that they then fell at the next round to England, which is, for Germany, an early exit, to be honest. That's earlier than they would have wanted. So Germany have definitely got something to prove. Minamino for Japan is going to be one to keep an eye on. Musiala and Minamino feel like the two in this game to keep an eye on. As we said, Japan, they're going to be a challenge. They're not going to be a complete walkover by any means, but it should be a victory here for Germany. So the preview of this game is Germany are not used to World Cup failures, and they do not intend to reflect on their Russia 2018 experience as they prepare for their 2022 campaign against Japan. The Germans are four-time champions and have reached at least the semi-finals at 4 of the 5 tournaments since the start of this century, more than any other nation over that period. But the exception was 4 years ago as Germany, then holders, exited at the group stage, losing to Mexico and South Korea. It was the first time since 1950 that Germany, they were absent from the later rounds of the World Cup, and they failed to progress. Defender Nicholas Schul's only finals appearance to date was in the 2-0 reverse against South Korea, and it is not an experience that he is looking to revisit. He says that it doesn't matter anymore. He says that we live in a fast-paced society. There's no time for success and failures and looking back. Not interested in yesterday. It's all about tomorrow. Germany have been drawn in a tough group that includes Spain and Costa Rica, as well as Japan. But they rebounded impressively in qualification. So they actually booked their place with only England scoring more goals. England scored 39 in qualifying. Germany scored 36. We've got the quality to go far, said Musiala. We go in with the mindset that we want to win this title. We believe in it and we are eager for it to start now. Opponents, Japan, have only won 1 of their last 8 World Cup matches, although that sole victory in Russia 4 years ago was enough to get them through to the round of 16. The Samurai Blue have plenty of experience on the global stage, appearing at 7th straight finals, although they have never advanced to the second round at consecutive editions. So that's kind of the preview for this game. The Germans with much to prove. Japan just would love to get another victory, to be honest, and, try to get through to that next round. And as we said, tricky group. I mean, Germany and Spain are 2 nations that you would expect in the knockout rounds. And so it's going to be really hard for Japan and Costa Rica to upset that and find a way of forcing themselves into the conversation. If Japan are going to stand a chance, they really need to get something today. I think they could get something against Costa Rica, but trying to get a result against Spain. I mean, I feel like it'll be harder to get a result against Spain than it will against Germany. Spain are ranked higher in the FIFA rankings than Germany. So this is, you really do need to get a few wins. You do need to get a couple of results, and trying to get a result against Spain, it's going to be very, very, not impossible, but it's going to be very, very difficult. So really, Japan need to get something out of this game. But is Furuhashi playing for Japan? He's a great player. He's one of Celtic's star players. Not according to the team sheets. Not according to what is being put up by... In fact, what's being put up by SofaScore, it doesn't even look like Minamino is playing, which might be something that we need to take a look at. Let's have a look. Let's go over to Twitter and see what's happening with Minamino. I haven't heard of an injury or anything. Minamino. Saudi Arabia shot the world. go latest and see what people are saying about Minamino. Game of the day, Germany versus Japan. Minamino. Looking forward to see Schlotterbeck. I rate him as one of... Oh, that's interesting. No Sane for Germany. No Minamino for Japan. Looking forward to seeing Schlotterbeck as I rate him as one of Europe's top young defenders. So we can have a look at... I don't know anything about Schlotterbeck. So Japan are stacked. They've got Minamino on the bench. So Mitoma, Minamino and Tomiyasu on the bench says a lot about this Japanese team. So, yeah, I mean, that is interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. Tomiyasu and Minamino on the bench. I mean, in all fairness, he's not really been lighting it up. I believe he plays for Monaco now, and I don't think his numbers have been that great. But it's just a name that the very few names here I'm aware of when it comes to Japan. But that is a name that people know. Obviously, he used to play for Liverpool, but only good enough right now to be on the bench. I mean, he's a nice player to bring off the bench. Very nice player, and, subs are going to play a big part in this World Cup. So, as I said for the England game, I wouldn't read too much into that. I wouldn't, think that there's any issues or anything. I just think that you need good impact subs, and he's a good impact sub. The holder of the number 10 shirt for the national team, Minamino, earned praise for his typically Japanese dedication and self-sacrifice. But in reality, he is the type of player who shines when a team is built around him. Some believe that the Japan manager is still struggling how best to use him. In 2014, Minamino set an unusual Guinness World Record with 187 high fives in the space of 1 minute. What the flip? Some of this information from The Guardian is wild, man. Well, there we go. We've learnt that Minamino set a world record for the number of high fives in a minute. And that's only good enough for him to be on the bench. What the flip? Ito is one of the fastest rising players in the country and a regular on the right wing. University football is highly prestigious in Japan, and it is not unusual for players to make the national team having taken that path. Ito, however, is unusual in that he made it having been only a second division player at university level. To go from anonymity and carve out the career he has makes Ito a hero for many Japanese amateur players. As he will attest, he is famously shy around strangers. Ah, bless. He is regarded as their star player. Number 14, Ito, he is regarded as their star man. So he is going to be someone definitely worth keeping an eye on. Let's just have a look at Germany, because I want to have a look and see what they're saying about Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck plays for Borussia Dortmund. He's 22, part of the next generation of German defenders. Schlotterbeck had his breakthrough whilst on loan at Union Berlin during the 2021 season and continued to shine at Freiburg the following campaign, making his international debut and playing in the German Cup final. An 18 million pound move to Dortmund followed in the summer, and the 22-year-old has shown everything required to be a modern central defender. He is robust, he is good in the air, he is excellent at long-range passing, decent at dribbling, and maintains a very strong left foot. Schlotterbeck even scores a few goals. He has also criticised Qatar's stance on homosexuality, saying football must be there for everyone and open to everyone and stand for diversity. Obviously, we know about Rudiger back there and Neuer as well. So Germany definitely seem like they've got a good defence. I'm really looking forward to seeing him, actually. I don't know much about, anything about Schlotterbeck apart from what we've just seen. Not a name that I'm familiar with, but 22 years old, someone to keep an eye on. Obviously, we know about Kimmich and we know about Gundogan. They've got a nice core, actually, Germany here. It seems like they've got a really nice defensive central solid base to build upon. and then add to that Musiala, Muller, Gnabry. I sort of feel like Germany might be a bit of a dark horse, you know. They might be a bit of a dark horse. I know it's weird having Germany as a dark horse, but I mean, how often do you see Germany underwhelm at tournaments? Like, it just doesn't happen. And it happened last time. It surely won't happen again. And when you've got Neuer, Rudiger, Gundogan, Gnabry, Muller, Musiala, like, there's some really, really good players there. I mean, if England came up against them, I would obviously quite fancy England. I think England have got fantastic players as well. But Germany are a team that I think could be right up there with the likes of England, France, Brazil. I'm still saying Argentina. I think they'll bounce back as well. So, something to keep an eye on. Vincent Kompany was asked if he would bring Ronaldo to Burnley. He said, no, I want people who can run. Ronaldo can't even get in. He's been shunned by Burnley. Burnley have shunned Cristiano Ronaldo. Steve said, if England win the World Cup, can you release that Friday song but change it to England's World Cup, England, champions, champions. We're champions, champions. Come on down, we're champions. England, England, yeah. England, England, yeah. That'd be nice, actually, Steve. That would be nice. That would be nice. I can see that sweeping the nation. Is anything more celebratory than Friday by Rebecca Black? I mean, what a banger of a tune that is. Absolutely brilliant. A lot of people like Sweet Caroline, but in my mind, it's inferior to Friday by Rebecca Black. Days Maeda is a good player, says Edwards. Who does he play for? Who are we talking about? Japan. Japanese striker. Maeda. I don't know anything about him. Let's have a look. Japan. Where are you, Japan? I've got a little guide here that tells me all about all the different players. It's really useful, but it's very flowery. Tells me more about their hopes and ambitions than anything else. So, Maeda is 25, plays for Celtic. The striker is said to have the fastest feet in all of Japan. Look at him, he's like happy feet. This speed is particularly noticeable in the press, of which he says, I love making defenders panic and stealing the ball from them. Japanese people are typically mistaken for being younger when moving overseas, but Maeda has always experienced the opposite. His goal celebration, in which he smiles with both hands placed against his cheeks, comes from Anpanman, a cartoon character loved by Japanese children. I mean, it doesn't really tell me a great deal, does it? Unfortunately, the Guardian there. Cheers to you and 4 a.m. Cali. I hope everyone is well. 4 a.m. in California. LDTV, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Easy99 says, watch out for Kubo and Kamada. Kubo and Kamada. Again, Japan in the front line. Let's have a read. Kubo is seen as a wonder boy. Yeah. The wonder boy of Japanese football. Kubo signed a contract with Barcelona at the age of 10 and he moved to Spain. Ever since, he has been the future. Despite a difficult period after signing for Real Madrid in 2019, a permanent transfer to Real Sociedad this season has brought out his natural creative abilities, and his performances to date have been electrifying. Kubo has a real way with words, that's good, and is known for what the Japanese call machine gun talk. In essence, he can speak quickly and consistently without anyone else getting a word in edgeways. Well, there we go. Look, we've learnt so much about Kubo there. But I think if you're going to be connected with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and then settle in, Real Sociedad, a good team in a top league, I think it shows his quality. He is regarded as the wonder boy. Ito is classed as the star player. Kubo is classed as the wonder boy. Kamada is 26, playing for Eintracht Frankfurt, the heir to the position behind the striker for which Japan has traditionally produced its finest players ever since the days of Nakata. Wonderful on the ball and instructive in his ability to get past defenders. Kamada played for Gambia, Osaka, one of the biggest clubs in Japan, at under 13 to under 15 level, but didn't make the grade. That Sagan Tosu rediscovered him at the age of 18 was pure good fortune for the national team. So there we go. He struggled a little bit at an early age, but was rediscovered and has now found his way to Eintracht Frankfurt and is regarded as a top player in that number 10 position. Well, it's kind of interesting, actually, to learn a bit about Japan because I don't know much about Japan at all. I really don't. I mean, I sort of know how their team plays, having done, like, some research for this tournament, but actually, like, picking out individual players and talking about the individual players, it's good. It's interesting, and it certainly gives us some people to keep an eye on. So, in regards to Germany, I'm very interested in Schlotterbeck. Interested to see what he's going to bring. Of course, we expect Musiala to light up this tournament. This really could be, just like for Jude Bellingham, this really could be a breakout tournament for Musiala. And then over on the Japanese side, that forward line in particular seems to be quite exciting with Ito and Kubo and Maeda and Kamada. So the front line of Japan look like they're going to be exciting to watch. So yeah, good. We are 18 minutes away. 18 minutes away. Will Rally Sports said Kubo plays for Real Sociedad. He is a good player. Do you remember Nakamura, the football player? I do, yes. He played in Scotland as well, I believe. Thoughts on Nikita Lyons' hips, says Wes. Important. I mean, she needs them. And I'm pleased she's got them. And I wish them and her all the best for the future. Can we join the Saudi celebration going on sacrifice? I think that celebration might have died down now. I don't know that they're still celebrating. They may be. Maybe this. I feel like the sacrifices went long into the night. But well, it is a bank holiday. I would imagine that people are probably, recovering from a heavy session of sacrificing. So I don't know that the sacrificing is going on today, but yeah, I'm sure they're enjoying themselves still. And there we go. Look, they're showing us Musiala in an England shirt just to rub it in, just to break our hearts. There's Musiala and Bellingham again, just to kick us whilst we're down. Musiala and Bellingham side by side. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. How did we let a talent of that caliber slip away? Did he need money? Did we need to give him money? Was it money? Why did he leave? Heartbreaking that we lost Musiala. It really is. 19 years old and really regarded as one of the most exciting youngsters in the world. Thankfully, you never took Bellingham with him. Could you imagine if we lost Bellingham as well? Would you say is the biggest and most important star signed to a company in wrestling? Would Vince count? No. I would say Roman right now. Roman is the biggest and most important. Hayden said Musiala is a stud for Bayern. So impressive. So impressive. We got to see Musiala in action against England. Obviously at the Euros, and he was really good, really good. Young talent. He has been one of the most exciting players to watch in the Bundesliga this season, which is not bad for someone who is only 19 years old. His elegance and close control is pretty much unmatched in Germany's top flight, and he consistently bamboozles defenders and the crowds with his moves. It's a feast for the eyes to watch him play. He's more than a top talent, enthused Bayern's director of football. Musiala could have lined up for England in Qatar, having spent 8 years at Chelsea's academy and representing England all the way up to and including under 21 level. But in 2019, his childhood club Bayern came calling, and he made his Germany debut in March 2021. Jeez. So Musiala breaking English hearts. Where was he? I don't actually know where he was born. Where was he born? In all fairness, he was born in Germany. So he was born in Stuttgart, Germany. Apparently his nationality is that he has got dual citizenship. So how are his connections to England though? Oh, okay. So he's a German professional footballer who plays on the wing for Bayern and Germany, born in Germany to a Nigerian father and a German mother. He was raised from the age of 7 in England. So they moved to England when he was 7, hence giving him English citizenship. But he was born in Germany, and he is got a Nigerian father and a German mother. So I can sort of understand as to why he has represented them over England, but so close. So yeah, he is the one that sadly got away. Are you gutted Musiala's not playing for England? Yes, we're literally just talking about that. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely devastated. Genuinely. Yeah. Yeah, because he did all the way up. Could you imagine if we had him? I mean, I feel like England's front line is pretty good anyway, but Musiala, I think, is going to benefit any side, even the England national team. I mean, yeah. I mean, who would he be replacing? He'd be on that. I suppose it'd be like Sterling, Rashford. I mean, we still don't have bad options in that position, do we? In all fairness. It's just Musiala really is. If we didn't have anyone in that position and he'd got away, I'd be even more gutted. The fact that we've got the likes of Sterling and Rashford there, Grealish can play over on that left-hand side, of course. Foden can play on that left-hand side. Like, the fact that we've got those options means that it's a little bit easier to take. But I'm still devastated about it, to be honest. Will Raleigh said, do you remember Kevin Prince Boateng, Ghana, and his brother Jerome Boateng? Weird story. I remember Boateng for Germany, yes. I don't know why his brother was playing for Ghana. I actually don't know the story for that. Boateng. Were they born in different countries? Jerome Boateng was born in Berlin. Where was Kevin Prince Boateng born? He was born in Berlin as well. So, he played for Germany up until the under-21s, and then he switched allegiance to Ghana, but he only played for Ghana 15 times. So he didn't play for them tons of times, but played for them 15 times. So Kevin Prince Boateng, Jerome Boateng playing for Germany 76 times between 2009 and 2018. So played for Man City 16 times, was there for a year, but 229 appearances for Bayern Munich. So very impressive. Is at Lyon now, apparently. My last name is German, so I support them as well as the US, says TD McIntyre. Rage Kid says it's going to be 2-0. Will Rally Sports said, I'm going to go 3-1. Thoughts on Go Power Reggie? The greatest professional wrestler that's ever lived. Simple as that. And if anyone else says different, they're lying. Simple as that. Greatest professional wrestler that has ever lived. Debuted last night. Such excitement during the watch long. It was fantastic. Alex said, have you ever thought about streaming on YouTube and Twitch? Eventually, it would double the dollar and more bingo playing money. To be honest, you never used to be able to do that. If you signed up for Twitch's streaming partner program, you had to sign up, I believe, for exclusivity to that platform. They wouldn't allow you to stream on both. So I don't know if those rules have changed in recent years, but it was that way a few years ago. I think you can do it if you don't earn any money on Twitch. So if you don't sign up for their program and you literally just stream and there's no ad revenue or anything along those lines, then you can do it. But I don't know. Twitch has always struck me more as being a gaming platform than anything else. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's always struck me as being the home for gaming. I don't know that it's really a platform for doing wrestling streams or whatever. I know that it goes on, and I know that people do it, but I don't know. It's not something that I've ever really looked at and thought, yeah, there's a demand there. I need to go over there. I think we've got our audience, we've got our community. Yeah, I don't know. It's never been on my radar because of that exclusivity thing. If you want wrestling days, you've got to pay the big bucks. That's how it works. Yeah, if you want this kind of content, this top rate, top draw content, ain't gonna come over and entertain the masses for free. What do you think I am? It's all about the big bucks, and that's what YouTube pays, the big bucks. I'm on $1 million an hour over here. They can't afford me. I'm basically the Ronaldo of football, in that I charge a lot of money and no one wants me. So that's how it works. You should do some gaming streams on Twitch. I think we stream enough. But, we've got the football streams, we've got the UFC streams, we've got the wrestling streams. The last thing that I need now is gaming streams, because then I'd have to learn how to game. Smitster said, anyone sleeping on Japan is in for a rude awakening. Stephen said 6-2. There's only one 6-2 close to my heart. And that's when the three lions were roaring on Monday. Come on. Thoughts on Ronaldo leaving United? Thoughts? My thoughts are... yeah! Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da 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 da. I think, look, if you support a club and a player comes out and is so obviously unhappy and so desperate to leave and says he doesn't respect the manager and all this kind of stuff, you've got to part ways. He's got to go. Got to go for him and for the club. And, you had people like Varane saying that it's not helpful and it was upsetting the team. And whilst he was there, he was a problem. It was a problem. He's a great option to have. No one can say that he's not a fantastic footballer, even at this age. But, he is not bigger than Manchester United, is he? He's not bigger than Manchester United. Manchester United's bigger than any individual, so... But just go. If anyone's going to come out and say they don't want to be there and they don't respect the manager and they don't respect the club and moaning and all this kind of, do one. Don't care if you're Ronaldo, don't care if you're Messi, don't care if you're Pele. Anyone that thinks they're bigger than the club, do one. And he's done one. So there we go. It's good for him. It's good for us. And I'm really pleased. I'm interested to see where he goes next. I'm interested to see who will take him. I hope he's happy. I don't feel any hatred towards him. But he had to go. He had to go. Right, Germany have come out. Days, let's be real, Ronaldo is bigger than United. No. United were around a long time before Ronaldo, and they will be around a long time after Ronaldo. And no individual is bigger than Man United, just like no individual is bigger than Liverpool or Bayern or... they might get the headlines for the time that they've got their career and the time that they're around. but no one's bigger than the clubs. I think Ronaldo wanted to try and change the board and wanted United to do well. His actions weren't that bad. He just wanted United to have success. No is my answer. I just think that he could have dealt with things in a much better way. There was no need to air all these grievances and make everything public. He could have been more. He could have been more behind the scenes. There could have been so many things that went on before we got to this kind of real public kind of outburst. I mean, he must have known as soon as he spoke out what the repercussions were going to be. And the repercussions were going to be he was going to have to go. And he did it because he wanted to go. He's not playing, so he wants to go. It's as simple as that. He's not playing football, so he wants to go somewhere where he's playing football. The problem is, no one wants him. No one's coming for him. I think United would have sold him. I think they would have let him go. But no one came in for him. So what he's done is he's forced an early termination of his contract by coming in and speaking out. Ten Hag is doing a great job. United are having a great season after years of United looking dire, of United looking awful. United are now having a great season. They're fifth. They're building. We're not going into games getting battered. We had some horrible results in recent years. And now we've actually got some momentum. We're going in the right direction. Of all the times for him to come out and rock the boat and make the comments that he made, he does it now. I mean, if this was Ralf Rangnick and he said some stuff, I could understand it a bit better. If it was maybe even Ollie and he wasn't happy with what was happening under Ollie and we weren't seeing any improvement, I could maybe understand it. Under Ten Hag, it's not about the team. This is personal. He says that he doesn't respect Ten Hag. So it's not about the team or the improvements at Man United. It's not about Man United. It's all about Ronaldo. This is all about Ronaldo not getting game time. That's what this is. It's all about Ronaldo not getting game time. Because, as I said, if it was about Man United, I don't think that you would speak out as publicly and, kind of embarrass the club in that way and try and force the end of your contract and talk about how you don't respect Ten Hag. This was a hurt Ronaldo speaking out because he's not getting game time and he wanted to end his contract and go elsewhere. And we spoke about it yesterday and said Ronaldo is always going to look after Ronaldo, and he should. He should look after Ronaldo. He should look after himself. So, Ronaldo will always look after Ronaldo. That's fine. I don't feel any hatred towards him. I don't curse his name. I don't, hate Ronaldo now or anything like that. But he needed to go after that interview. It's as simple as that. He had to go. There was no way back. No way back. He was never going to get picked by Ten Hag. And he would then just strop and mope around, and do you know what I mean? He's stormed off at the end of games before matches have ended. He's refused to come on as a sub. He ain't doing this for Man United. He's not thinking about Man United. It's all Ronaldo. It's the Ronaldo show. It's all about Ronaldo. And some people are gonna stick with Ronaldo over it, and that's absolutely fine. If there are people watching that Ronaldo can do no wrong type thing, fair play. But for me, he had to go, and I'm pleased that he's gone. Right, we're on the verge of getting started. Ronaldo's ego is bigger than the Grand Canyon, says James. Right, Japan, Germany. We've spoke about this game. We've broke it down. We've looked at a few players. We've got both teams lined up, out on the pitch, ready to get started. What treats await us today as we start our first of 3 games today? Pretty full-on day today. So we've got Germany, Japan just kicking off. Germany kicking us off, going from left to right. Japan going from right to left. And we are underway with this game. And as we said, after this, we got Spain against Costa Rica. And then after that, we are going over to Belgium and Canada. Canada take the world stage. There's lots of Canadian fans that we've got in our community. So I'm excited to get watching that Canada game. Right. Let's have a look. There's this German defence. I'm really interested in Schlotterbeck after hearing loads about him. Obviously, we know about Rudiger anyway. But I'm interested in seeing a few of these German players. And, of course, Musiala. Germany have got the ball back in their own half, playing it forward. Goes down the line into the centre, but headed back. Ball up in the air. Bouncing around. Comes back past the halfway line. Played forward. Japan on the ball. Japan in blue. Germany in white. Japan trying to chase after it. Neuer comes out, heads it, because it was just outside of his penalty area. Goes down that left-hand side. Rudiger, nice tackle. Rudiger making the clearance. Ball being passed around. Musiala, I mean, look at him driving forward, wanting the ball back. Musiala, I mean, they're just really battling for the ball, trying to link up with Gnabry. Right, we are underway. The interview was absolutely the one to guarantee him parting with United. No player bigger than a club. But for me, United needs change for the goods. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit split when it comes to the Glazers, and that's going to be controversial because the one thing I'd say about the Glazers is they put United in debt, and that's unforgivable, right? It is the way of the business world. But when you're a football club and you're seeing football clubs closing down and being shut down like Bury did because of financial difficulties, and someone comes along and buys your successful football club and puts you into financial debt, they basically use the football club as a way of raising the money to buy the football club. It's all dirty. It's all unnecessary. It's all just... It upset the fan base, right? And then, like, when money's being made, they're taking dividends out, and the success on the field is declining, and the people they put in place are not good enough. Like, all of that stuff makes me go, well, they need to go, man. They need to go. Like, this is a dog and pony show, right? So I am very clear on why people are Glazers out, and I support it, right? I think they should go. The only other caveat, though, is that they do invest money in the team. There's a lot of money that's been invested in the squads. I don't think we can ever really look at like the money they've given us. I mean, if you look at the breakdown as to how much money Man United have spent, it's right up there with the other teams. It's not like we're like just not getting any money. Like, we are signing big names and getting money. It's just the wrong names. It's the money is going in the wrong places because they've got the wrong people in charge. So I sort of look at it and go, well, oh man, you run the risk of getting new owners that, all right, might put some better people in charge. Doesn't guarantee success because obviously it's very competitive. But what they might also do is not give you as much money to spend on the team. And we have been spoiled, to be honest. We have been spoiled. We have every year been getting money. You know, we've been wasting it. Like, 80-odd million on Maguire, 50-odd million on Wan-Bissaka. Like, it's been getting wasted, but the money has been there. So I'm a little bit torn because, like, obviously the Glazers go, but there's no guarantee that anything improves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You could bring someone else in and they could bring in some people. Those people might not be any better. And then they might also not give us as much money to spend. So I am Glazers out, but I am also concerned about who the new owners would be. There is that kind of concern there as well. Ball being whipped in and headed clear. It's a corner to Germany and it bounces out. But yeah, I agree. What we need to do is get best in class. We need the best director of football. We need the best training facilities. We need the best trainers, coaches. Like, Man United should have the best. We've got the money to get the best. And that needs to change. But who is good enough to come in and identify the best? Who is good enough to do that? I don't know. No one's going to really know until the new owners take over, and we'll know if they're the right people or not. Is it Sir Jim Radcliffe, is it, that's like a Man United supporter? I think if you even had just even an inkling about football, it would help. Glazers don't, so they don't know what's good, what's bad, you know? Just worried that United fans, want Glazers out, but what's coming next? What's on the way? Is it better? I hope so. But you are right, we do need change, and we do need best in class. Ball goes out of play. I tell you what we're seeing from Japan here in the first 5 minutes. We're seeing them press very well, drive Germany back in their own half. Germany are really struggling to get out of their own half at the moment. They're comfortable. We're not seeing Japan really do anything spectacular. And we're certainly not seeing Japan really getting much of the ball. It's Germany that have got the ball, but they just can't really get out of their own half. At the moment, it is 80-20 in regards to possession. Ball going down the line. We've already seen Musiala showing why he is much heralded. He's already shown a few glimpses, some nice link-up play. But right now it is 0-0, but Japan more than holding their own. Glazers are about business. United need a football board director that will know what to do for long-term improvements. Ball up in the air, bouncing around, cleared by Japan. Isn't it weird that Liverpool and United are up for sale right now and Chelsea not long ago got bought? Yeah, I read an interesting article last night. Apparently the Glazers saw, here come Japan, they're looking to counter. They've got numbers. It's 3-on-3. Ball in the mid. Oh, Japan have scored! Oh, he's offside. He's offside. Damn. Look at that. So the ball is given away. It was 2-on-1, and it allowed a quick break. Ball going over to the wing. Oh, God. And he has got himself offside. The number 25, Maeda, needed to do better there to stay onside, and just strayed off. There's, I tell you what, Ito was the one that whipped the ball in, and his pace was absolutely incredible. Japan will hopefully get some encouragement from that. I tell you what we're seeing from Japan. They're winning the ball in midfield, and then they are rapid, man. They are rapid. This German defense is going to have to really be switched on, and they're going to have to deal with some rapid pace by Japan. Close. What is it with these counter-attacks from the smaller teams? They are so fast and spot on, says Andy. I think, I sort of feel like this is how you need to play, really, against the bigger nations. It's a good strategy because, defensively, you've got players behind the ball. You can, as they commit players forward, you can pinch the ball, and then if you've got the pace, it's you against the defence, isn't it? It does make sense. It really is a tactic that we're seeing a lot of these smaller footballing nations deploy. What the bigger nations need to do is they need to make sure that they are making their attacks count, really. And certainly need to make sure they're not losing possession in key positions. That was lost right in the middle of the park. And in the blink of an eye, it was 3-on-3. You had the 3 German defenders. You had the 3 Japanese attackers. There was some German players that were getting back, but as we saw, they just weren't able to really make a difference. Ball was whipped in, but offside, and the ball goes long. Tharuka said, damn that offside rule. This will be a competitive game. Just joined the stream after getting home from the gym. Well, shout out to you, Birds. Hope you are well. Hope you had a good workout. Let's get physical. 27 minutes ago, England believe that Harry Kane has not suffered major damage to his right ankle. So news coming through, news doing the rounds. England do not believe that there has been any major damage suffered. So relief for England, seemingly. Because that was a little concern. I mean, I thought that he should have come off at half-time, to be honest. There was some definite concern there in regards to Harry Kane. We definitely don't need him being injured this World Cup. If he goes out, it is a problem. England definitely become a weaker team. Callum Wilson can step in, but England do definitely become a weaker side. He's on good form at the moment, though, Callum Wilson. I mean, I feel like Kane's link-up play is what he brings that we would miss more than anything else. Callum Wilson can definitely put the ball in the back of the net. Ball being played over to that left-hand side. Japan is imperial country, says Mohammed's. Ball, Musiala. He's got a couple of Japanese players around him. Doubling up on Musiala. So they know not to give him freedom. So a couple of Japanese players having to deal with Musiala. We're seeing Germany do much better here. They're enjoying more of the ball in the Japanese half than what we saw in the first 10 minutes. Just passing it around. Japan sitting quite deep, trying to win the ball. They get the ball away, but Germany are going to mop it up. Japan having to weather some pressure here. Well organised, though. Ball being played back to the halfway line, goes over to the left-hand side. Here come Germany. Ball in the middle. Kimmich. Schlotterbeck down the line, down that left-hand side. Well cut out by Japan. Japan launching the ball forward, being chased after. Bouncing. It looks like Rudiger is going to allow that to go back to Neuer. Neuer plays it out, goes to Sul, number 15. Playing it forward to Gnabry. Comes back to Sul. And into the middle of the park. So Germany just looking to build at the moment. Neuer, long way out. He's like halfway down his half. As he gets the ball out to his defence. He was under no pressure. Here's Musiala. Musiala charging forward. Cuts on the insides. Keeps the ball. Plays it back. Shot on the edge of the area. But bounces off the Japanese player. Musiala showing already. They are very, very good. It reminds me when they played South Korea, if Japan can keep it close for 60 minutes, Germany could be in trouble with Japan's pace, says Theo. Nadula said, I've got Germany for this match. Mosley, shout out to you. I hope you are well. Sane doesn't play. No Sane. I think he might be on the bench for them. But no Sane, unfortunately. Have we got substitutions? Yeah, Sane on the bench. So it's not a bad bench in all fairness. Goretzka, Sane, that's the 17-year-old as well, is on the bench for them. Mukoko, who I don't know anything about. Be really interested if he comes on. Yeah, don't know much about him at all. In fact, it might be interesting just to have a little read of him and see what he's about. He plays as a forward, plays for Borussia Dortmund. Mukoko is only 17 and has already broken all sorts of records. He is the youngest player to feature in the Bundesliga at 16 years and 1 day years old. The youngest to score in the Bundesliga. He scored just 27 days later. The youngest to play in the Champions League at 16 years and 18 days, beating a record by Babayaro. Born in Cameroon, Moukoko moved to Germany at the age of 9. At Borussia Dortmund, he played with a certain Erling Haaland, who had this to say about his teammates. Moukoko is much better than I was at his age. I've never seen such a good 15-year-old in my life. The advantage for him is that he's already playing for Dortmund at the age of 15. At his age, I was still playing for my hometown of Broin. So that's pretty scary, isn't it? The fact that they seem to have a prodigy in their squad. Erling Haaland saying that Moukoko is better than what he was at his age. Ball being whipped in by Germany from a corner, headed towards goal, and it just goes wide by Rudiger. Just goes wide. Damn. So, corner was whipped in to the back post. Rudiger heads it. I think the keeper would have got there anyway. But, boom. Mason says, apparently Ronaldo has a 2-match ban because of a fan incident, but I don't know how that works when he's got no club. I also don't know how it works if he goes to a different country. Would the 2-match ban, I don't know. Would the 2-match ban follow him to a different team? I feel like it might in the Premier League, but if he went to a different league, I don't know that it would. 2-match ban, though, it's not that big of a deal, is it really? I once stayed at the Munich airport for 6 hours because I didn't know I could leave, said TD McIntyre. Luke said, so young. Yeah, I can't wait to see him in action. Hopefully he comes on. It'd be great to see him. Ball going back to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper playing the ball forwards. Coming into that German defence. Ball coming to Rudiger. Rudiger playing it back to Neuer. So they're back in their own half. 17 minutes gone already. So time flying at the moment. Possession, 78% apparently for Germany. 78% for Germany. At the moment, SofaScore have got them at 84, but numbers just came. That might be a little bit behind, to be honest. By the time they've typed it in and everything. Germany seeing quite a bit of the ball. It's at 82 at the moment for Germany. They've had 2 shots, nothing on target though. Same with Japan. They have had nothing on target, but they have had the ball in the back of the net. That was pretty on target. But sadly, doesn't count because of the offside. And Germany come into Japan's half, and we just see the player going down, Müller. So, free kick to Germany. We're around the halfway line. They're building. Musiala's got 2 Japanese players around him again. Ball being played forward. Long goes, kept in really well. That was great. That looked like it was flying straight out, but it was kept in by Germany. And then there is a foul on a Japanese player. I think it was Havertz that was responsible for that. And the referee just saying, calm down. Calm down, dear. Calm down. It's only a game. Days, I wish FPL had the sub-off option like the World Cup fantasy game does. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? It would be good. I suppose the only thing is that I suppose it is spaced over a couple of days. The difference is that the first round of a World Cup is over like a week, isn't it? It's like you get games every day for like the period of a week. In regards to the Premier League, it's just a couple of days. So it'd be interesting. It would change the game if you think about it. Because then people would be looking at like, well, I want options for Sunday on my bench. Who's playing on a Sunday? And that would then start to get factored in a little bit. Wouldn't change it drastically. But I could definitely see people like when they're doing their free hits and everything, like obviously factoring that in. Oh, great save. Oh, and the follow-up is skied over. Wow. Great save there by the Japanese goalkeeper, but the flag has gone up. Japanese manager is in a full business suit. He looks very smart. I was very disappointed with what Southgate was wearing. He was wearing just this white, awful looking, I don't know, polo shirt or something. It just didn't look nice at all. And then like a jacket over the top. He was classy. He looked great in Russia with his suit. He should be in a suit. That's, there's a few things that I don't appreciate about England's result. I don't appreciate conceding 2 goals. That was disappointing. But I really don't appreciate Gareth Southgate not making the effort. I am now Southgate out because of that. A lot of people were Southgate out because of his in-game management. I'm Southgate out because of what he was wearing. Fashion is very important. You would not see the Italian manager wearing that, would you? Here's Japan. They've won the ball high. Oh, tried to whip it in. Good work there by Rudiger. Rudiger making sure that ball goes out of play. Good work by Rudiger. So Rudiger had the ball, played it over. I don't know who it was that lost it. Was that Schlettelbeck? Or was that Rahm? Don't know who it was that lost it. But they lost the ball. Japan were coming again. It looked like Ito might have been the one that was responsible for winning it. Ito, apparently Japan's star man. Going to see the ball being whipped in here. 20-odd minutes gone. We're almost halfway through the first half. It's played out and an in-swinger. Back post. Just goes wide. Just goes wide. Feel like Japan is dangerous but pretty comfortable, said Smithster. They're doing all right. They really are doing all right. I'm really impressed with the game at the moment because it feels quite open. It feels like it's end-to-end. It doesn't feel like it's just one-way traffic or anything. It definitely feels competitive. So, I'm into it. It's a decent little game at the moment. Really end-to-end stuff. Right, we've got the ball being played into the middle. 81% to 19% on possession. That's where we are with possession. Ball is in the middle, played into the centre. Gets passed across. And again picked up as we're seeing the German players moving forwards. Playing the ball forwards. Knocking it into the middle. Again over to that right-hand side. And ball played back. Germany knocking it over to the right-hand side. Trying to play it into the middle, but bounces out and goes straight out of play. So nothing happening there. My last name is actually German, so I support them as well as the US. If England win the World Cup, will you do a sleep stream? Would I do a sleep stream? Nope. Okay, ball going into the centre. Doesn't look like the chat on screen is actually moving, which is a bit annoying. Don't know if we've lost a slight connection or something. Let's see if we can just refresh that. See if we can get it working again. Okay, here come Germany driving forward. Ball being played in the middle. Cut out by the Japanese defence. Play the ball over to the left-hand side. Here's Germany trying to dink it into the middle, but cleared by Japan. Bouncing around and looks like it's kept in by Germany. Germany keeping the pressure on at the moment. Boom. Yeah, they're doing... that's better. Major fresh air clearance, says Smithster. Japan 1, Germany 0. I see a lot of people on Twitch doing it, no problem. Maybe it is a thing for YouTube, says Hayden. Mull said, talking about the Boateng brothers, Williams brothers for this tournament, the older bro has changed to Ghana and the younger bro plays for Spain. Both players are at this World Cup. We've seen a few examples of that, actually, of brothers being at the World Cup. Obviously, we saw it with Hernandez in the French team last night. That sparked a big conversation in regards to brothers at the World Cup. There's, as we say, a few examples. I don't know that there's an example of a brother being subbed off for a brother coming on like we saw last night. That was pretty crazy with France. VAR are just having a little look for a potential penalty, but no penalty given. I don't think anyone really, there was no protest. I don't think anyone believed there was a penalty in there. But 25 minutes gone. We're just seeing a shot of the fans. I think Japan will be quite satisfied with how this has gone so far. 81% possession to 19, but only the one shot on target by Germany. Ball being whipped into the middle, bounce into the back post. Japan have got some defending to do. Edge of the area, side foots. It's pinballing around, but cleared by Japan. Only falls to Rudiger, though. They're right under the cosh. Really being put under pressure. Ball going all the way back to Rudiger. Goes all the way back to Neuer. Played over to that left-hand side. And we are seeing Germany starting to break again. Starting to build again. We're well past the halfway point in this game. So, we are moving forwards. Pro Wrestling Noah has announced that Muta teams with Sting and Darby for his retirement match on January 22nd. Bahamas says you should visit Japan one day. It is one of the most amazing countries to visit. Yeah, I would like to go, to be honest. I think it's such a different world. It feels like it could be on a different planet, to be honest. It's so different. The bright lights, everything's so compact. I mean, obviously, it's got beautiful areas as well, but I'm thinking more like Tokyo. So technologically advanced and just different. Yeah, different. I feel like I would just be in awe of lots of things as I was walking around. I've just never been over that side of the world. It's a whole side of the world I've never been to. I think the furthest east I've ever gone is Poland. I don't think I've ever been any further east than that. Ball, edge of the area. Here's a shot comes in and straight into the hands of the Japanese keeper. So that was Gundogan taking a shot. Little bit of frustration there, I think, by some of the German fans. I think they would have liked a bit of a better end product there by Germany. Germany's certainly not looking devastating in front of goal at the moment. 28 minutes gone and ball going over to that right-hand side by Japan. Japan have got the ball, playing it long and looks like it goes straight out of play. That's a bit disappointing. But how would the Kolo Yaya Chure song go if there was a third brother, asks Smitster. Alex said, what's your favourite goal of all time? It's probably going to be Ryan Giggs against Arsenal. I think that's my favourite goal of all time. So it was Man United versus Arsenal, 1999. And it's either that or Solskjaer in the Champions League final just a few weeks later. Two of my all-time favourite goals came with just a few weeks. Oh, ball whipped in the middle. Side foot by Germany. It's bouncing around but cleared by Japan. Bit of pressure there as Germany were building. Germany using the wings well, whipping it into the middle. Headed clear by Japan, and it bounces out. Oof. So, yeah, those two United goals. The one is in extra time. Giggs picks it up on the halfway line, weaves his way through loads of players, blasts it into the roof, and basically United are able to get the victory as a result of that, get through to the final of the FA Cup. Amazing. That game was at Villa Park, and I don't know, I always, I think it was a replay as well. I always thought that there was maybe a chance I could have gone to that game. I knew quite a few Villa fans, and getting tickets, I think, was possible. But I didn't, in the end, I didn't go, unfortunately. Ended up watching it around my mate's house, though. I had a fantastic time. He was an Arsenal fan, so it was brilliant. And then same mate, I went and watched the Champions League final at Stourbridge Football Club. I went to Stourbridge Football Club, watched the Champions League final in the clubhouse. There wasn't many people there, to be honest, but had great seats right at the front, watching it on the big screen. And, yeah, amazing. Amazing result. And they, Man United scoring in the 92nd minute against Bayern to win their first Champions League since the 60s, first European Cup since the 60s. So it would be those. I think in regards to like skill, I mean, I always think about Roberto Carlos and that goal, that free kick in Le Tournoi, where he got the ball to spin outwards and then somehow spin back in again. Like, I still don't know how he did it. Lovely ball into the German forwards. What have we got here? What have we got here? The ball was whipped into the German forward. The Japanese goalkeeper came out. There's a lot of protesting. Is he given? What is he given? So Germany had the ball. They played it to the back post. The goalkeeper came out. It's a bad tackle. It's a bad tackle by the Japanese keeper here. Let's have a look. I don't know what's happening. Is there VAR looking at this? Japan could be in trouble here. Japan could be in trouble. The referee is telling the Japanese players to stop surrounding him. But we do have drama going on right now. It's 0-0. Over half an hour has gone. Looks like there's going to be a penalty. Gundogan has got the ball. So they're checking the foul. The referee seems to have given the penalty. I think we're still waiting for it to be totally confirmed, but it is a penalty to Germany. So referee has pointed to the spot. Right, nothing to overturn it. So it is going to be a penalty, and it is going to be Gundogan. Gundogan is taking the penalty for Germany. High pressure moment as he takes it, and he scores. Germany score. Germany score. First blood Germany. Gundogan with the penalty. The deadlock is broken. Gundogan with a penalty. Boom. Rest with Andy said, I was dreaming of scripts. What a night. Oh, what a night. What a night. Where was you? Where was you when Scripps made his debut? Greatest goal of all time is anything from the Matt Letizia collection, says Smitster. Torpol said, does anyone have any fantasy players in this game? I've got Gnabry. I've got Musiala playing, so I've got Musiala. I don't have any Japanese players. Martin said, nice fella, Giggs. Yeah. Hasn't really gone too well since he retired. Do you know what was really disappointing? Giggs was always seen as a nice fella. He was always seen as a nice guy. Like, you never got any trouble out of Giggs. Giggs just, he always was on the wing, and he was always really grounded, and yeah. I mean, I don't know if there were things that were going on that they kept out of the press, maybe. But since he's retired, I mean, it's just been horrific, hasn't it? It's just been awful. Completely ruined his reputation. But it still doesn't stop me from, talking about that goal. That goal is just incredible. NXT was bad last night, said Steve. Scripps was terrible. He's a great entertainer, but the build-up didn't fit the reveal. Dijak botched his move at the end, so that's buried. Buried. Martin said, I watched both of those United games on my sofa. Mason, I'll get to your point in a sec. As Japan are trying to break forward, but the ball spills out. We've got 10 minutes to go. Mason said, would England winning the World Cup feel as good as it would with any other World Cup just because of everything that's happened? Yes. Yes. If England win the World Cup, then they have won. It doesn't really matter as to where it's taken place, to be honest. The venue doesn't detract from the results. If England win the World Cup, then they have become or are recognised as the world champions, whether that happens in Qatar, whether it happens on the moon, whether it happens in England. If they can go to anywhere and play in a tournament and win that tournament, there will be nothing will be taken away. It won't be like, yeah, we've won, but why did it need to be Qatar? No one would be ball being dinked in the middle, but cleared by Germany. No one would be level-headed enough to think that way. If England gets to a World Cup final, this country will be drunk before the game even kicks off. This country will be losing its mind. There will be no conversation about I just wish that it was somewhere else. That. No, that's not going to happen. Maybe amongst casual fans, maybe amongst people that only tune into the final, they might come up with that. But for anyone that watches football, it will not be a consideration. If England can win this tournament, it will be one of the most incredible moments in the history of English sport. And that overshadows where it's taking place. Terrible keeping. No idea what he was thinking, says Ryan. The tackle, and then he jumps on him. It's a clear penalty. Yeah, I mean, they were checking it. I mean, I have no idea why they were taking so long. It looked clear. I don't think Japan can have any arguments with it. They find themselves 1-0 down. They have been under quite a bit of pressure. They've had their opportunities as well, though. You know, they've not been completely out the game. It has been competitive to a degree. I know it's early. What has been your favourite game so far? Oh, wow, the England game. Of course. The England game's been my favourite game so far. Outside of the England game, I'd probably say the US game. I mean, the actual football on display might not have been as technically high as some of the other games we've seen, but it meant a lot to the community, and, you know, there was a lot going on, and people in the chat, and there was a lot of excitement. Ball bouncing around edge of the area, dinked into the middle, but cleared by Japan. So, yeah, the England game, of course. And then if I had to choose something out, the US game. Last time in the World Cup was 1966, said Nadula. Have you ever thought about going to Russia? No. Ukraine? No. Or North Korea? No. Maybe go and visit Chernobyl. You can visit, well, you can't visit Chernobyl, but you can go, there are tours that take you to the town, but you can't, I don't know how close you can get. I believe that it is still radioactive all around there, but the radiation levels are acceptable. They're deemed as safe now. But the actual Chernobyl is inside this massive sarcophagus now. It's been covered over with this giant structure. So you can't go around Chernobyl, the actual factory. And I don't even think you can get that close to the actual factory. I watched a documentary on it, actually, about how they had to construct. They had to build this sarcophagus away from the factory because it was too dangerous to build it over the factory. And then they had to wheel it over the top of it. I mean, it's incredible. Think about that as a feat of engineering. You've got this destroyed nuclear facility, and they had to. He's kept it in well, actually. Oh, unfortunate. That's good by Japan. Yeah, you've got this destroyed nuclear facility, power plant. They've had to build something bigger than it, away from it, and then move it over the top, slide it over the top. Such an incredible feat of engineering. So you can go to Chernobyl, but obviously it's questionable as to how close you can get. And then in regards to like North Korea, no, I mean, it just looks horrific. It doesn't, I mean, like I heard that the wrestlers went there in 95 and they had to go on like a military plane to get there. There are no flights into North Korea. So if you want to get there, like they had to go to China. It was either China or Japan. And then a military plane came to pick them up and flew them into North Korea. And they had to go on this military plane. And when they got there, they had to hand over their passports. And, oh, man, it just seems horrific. Just seems horrific. But amazing. I mean, like, amazing to say that you've been there. And you've been to a place that, you know, people just don't get to go. But no, there's nothing there. I mean, there's nothing to see. Apparently, they said, this is in the mid-90s, that the streets were just empty. You'd walk around and the streets were empty. No one was around. Everyone was either in their homes or at work. There was, like, no one walking around the streets. There was, like, shop fronts, but they weren't really shops. And there was just, like, a lot of fake... Shot goes over by Germany. A lot of things look fake around North Korea. I think they tried to make it look like a normal city with shops and all this kind of stuff, but it's not. It's quite weird and sinister, and like, where's all the people? And yeah, it's really interesting. Really interesting. If you get a chance to watch anything on Clash at Korea. We're seeing a Mexican wave doing the rounds. The fans, this game has kind of settled down a little, so fans are entertaining themselves as the ball is in the middle of the park. Japan on the ball, trying to play it forwards. Germany are settling into this World Cup nicely now, says Smitster. Is the World Cup still on for Thanksgiving? Yeah. Yeah, Thanksgiving's an American thing. It doesn't really affect the world. Ball up in the air and straight into the hands of the keeper. You can drive down a road that is a quarter of a mile away from Chernobyl. Interesting. I know they do tours. So is that as close as you can get, a quarter of a mile away? I don't think I'd want to go. I mean, I know that they've had done tests and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think I'd trust it. You know, I mean, I don't feel like I need to go. If it was definitely safe and I was going to that area, you know, if I was going to Ukraine, then I would be tempted. Because I believe it's in the Ukraine. I think it's in the Ukraine. I would be tempted, but no. Not something that I would go out my way to go to. Germany passing the ball down that right-hand side. Launching it forward, being chased after by Musiala. Finds his way onto the ball, keeps it in play. Nice, good work. Keeps it into the centre, bouncing around. Japan heading it clear, edge of the area. Musiala couldn't get a shot off. He tries to get it over to the wing. Ram is chasing after it. Ito is over there with him. Ball going back down the line. 1-0. I mean, if it stays 1-0, I don't think Japan will be too down on that. Ball going over to the left-hand side. Being passed around. Germany doing all right here. Chernobyl is indeed in the Ukraine. Rainblood, shout out to you. How do United fans look back on Rooney? Love Rooney. United fans love Wayne Rooney. He was someone that I think is seen as one of England's all-time great footballers. He is someone that's a United legend. He is, yeah, much loved. I can't remember him ever doing anything necessarily wrong. I remember there being a falling out between him and Ronaldo, which was quickly sorted. England played Portugal, and I think, did Ronaldo get Rooney sent off? Shot goes over there by Musiala, created some space. That was great work. Great work by Musiala. So, yeah, I feel like there was something that went down. I'm sure he got him sent off. Do you remember the wink by Ronaldo? That wink. Oh. And I think Rio said that he grabbed Ronaldo and Rooney after the game and spoke to them both and made sure things were sorted. I can't remember anything else regarding Rooney, like being a problem. He was always getting stuck in, wasn't he, Rooney? Always getting stuck in. Always gave his all. Always put a shift in. Always worked hard. Great finisher. Remember his overhead kick against Man City. But yeah, much loved. Jonathan, shout out to you. Hope you're well, bud. Hope you're enjoying the World Cup. Hammer Studios says, how are you? It's 7:43 here and I've not had any coffee yet. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. We're just enjoying Germany, Japan, and it's been an all right game, actually. It's been playing in the middle of the park quite a bit, but whenever we've been getting close to the goals, we've been getting excited, and we've seen the ball in the net for Japan. Really thought they'd scored, but it was offside. And then we just saw a penalty. That's how Germany got their goal. So Musiala looking very lively as well. Really looking good. In fact, as soon as you get to half-time, we'll have a look, see how the players are scoring. Here's Havertz. Ball going down the left-hand side into the penalty area. Germany pulling it back. Gnabry trying to do something with it, but just playing it off to the left-hand side. Here's Musiala. He really runs with the ball, doesn't he? Is again, head up, running with the ball, taking players on. He does things with pace as well. Like, he's just quick. He's just on it. You see some other players on the ball and they're trying to figure out, what do I do? I've got this player here. Where's my options? He just seems to know his options when he's got the ball. It's as if he's got a built-in radar and he knows where everyone is. Loses the ball there, Musiala. Again, he tried to play it off, but didn't quite reach its destination. Japan get the ball. Goes down the wing and goes out of play. It's 4 added on minutes. So not tons of added on time. 4 added on minutes. The only fantasy play I have are those ladies from Germany that are sitting midfield 3 rows up. They are so beautiful. Lovely German ladies in the crowd occupying LDTV. Let's go, says Banana and Grapes. Cal L. Cool J said, only thing wrong with Rooney is he likes a bit of Granny Smith. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Old people deserve love as well, yeah? I think if anything, it's a service to the community that he is ensuring that not only is he giving pleasure to football fans, but he is ensuring that that older generation is not being ignored and that they are receiving a different kind of pleasure from Wayne Rooney. And that is a service that, to be honest, you don't see enough football players provide. I think that they could do a lot more for the elderly lady population. And Wayne Rooney definitely is someone. Here's Musiala that stepped up as the ball is dinked to the back post, and Japan trying to clear. Shot, save, follow up and in. Is he offside? Is he offside? Is Havertz off? Havertz has put it in. He's celebrating. Ball came across. Havertz has put it in. I don't know if he's going to be on, though. I don't know if he knows that he's on. The celebrations are muted. The goal stands. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. Ball played back. Shot comes in. He's off. He's off. He's well off. He's well off. He's well off. Well off, mate. Oh. VAR's going to be checking. He's off. Okay. Now they're checking. I mean, honestly, Stevie Wonder can see. Ronaldo, Rooney sent off. It was 2006. God, that's a long time ago. That's longer ago than I thought. Suppose it makes sense. 2010. There we go. They said we could have saved them a lot of time and money. I mean, you could see straight away it was offside. Ball bouncing around, and Japan on the ball then. So we've had our 4 minutes of added on time. Ball was in the net, but it was offside. So both teams have scored offside goals in this first half. Headed wide by Japan. That was a good opportunity, you know. Maeda, it comes into Maeda, and he puts it wide. Look at that. Ball whipped in. He doesn't have to put any pace on it. He just has to steer it towards goal. And he puts it wide. Oh, Japan. You've had your opportunities, Japan. There we go. End of the half. End of the half. Half-time is done. Oh, well, half-time is what we're at. Let's have a look at some of these scores. Let's have a look at the what SofaScore is calling. They give Musiala 5.9. What the flip? Why is Musiala 5.9? He's been electric. 44 touches, 93% pass rate. What have I missed? What have I missed? He's had, well, in all fairness, according to this, he's had 9 ground duels, but he's not won any of them, and he lost possession 12 times. So that's maybe why it's showing as being 5.9. But, God, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. When he's got the ball, he's looked so dynamic, and he's really looked to make things work, you know? So, I don't know. Musiala, 5.9. Gundogan, 7.4. Kimmich, 7.4. Schlotterbeck, 6.8. Rahm's been looking pretty good down the wing, actually. A lot of attacks have been coming down that left-hand side. So, David Rahm looking quite handy. I'm shocked by that Musiala score. Maeda, 6.6. Kubo, 6.4. I think Ito's looked good as well, and he's 6.4. Tanaka is the only one that's got a 7. So, yeah, not really anything here to get too excited about score-wise, but it seems like middle of the park is pretty strong for Germany. So, there we go. Gundogan getting the penalty. That was the difference maker after 33 minutes. And a goal disallowed right at the end of the half. But you paint a horrible picture, says Rainblood. That is genuinely disgusting. Stop with the Rooney and the grandma description. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. Just because you start to get a little older in age doesn't mean, and all right, maybe a few things get a bit crusty, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be loved. And it's absolutely fantastic by Wayne Rooney that he provided for that older generation. Amazing that Mario Götze, who scored the winning goal in the World Cup final, just disappeared from the international scene. I think, is he on the bench? I think he might be on the bench for Germany. Let me have a look. Yeah, he's on the bench for them. So he is actually at this World Cup. Whether he'll come on and feature, I seriously don't know, but have I got that player breakdown? Let's have a look. Let's see what they're saying about him in 2022. Seemingly nothing by the looks of it. Yeah, he doesn't even have a write-up. Oh, there he is. The man who won the World Cup for Germany in 2014 with his goal in the final has not played for the national team for 5 years before Hansi Flick included him in the squad for this tournament. Having been described as talent of the century, Götze struggled somewhat after that goal in Rio, and in 2017 was diagnosed with having metabolic disturbances, which put him out of action for several months. He left Dortmund for a second time in 2020 and rejuvenated his career in the Netherlands with PSV Eindhoven before a move to Eintracht Frankfurt this summer. It's hard to fathom that Godza is still only 30 years old. So he is 30 years old, now plays for Eintracht Frankfurt. So there we go. Don't know that we'll be seeing him. I don't know if they'll turn to him. They've got some options on the bench. But he is back in the fold. FIFA, FA have just fined and suspended Ronaldo for 2 games. Alisson is our goalie. He's the best there is. Robbo is the greatest that Jurgen ever found. Virgil is our favourite, a master of the game. And here's the mighty Salah to do it once again. We love you, Liverpool. Shout out to Liverpool. Ramit said Draxler is Hansi Flick's German soccer team head coach mystery player for the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Ramit, shout out to you. Netherlands soccer team is like South Africa's cricket team. It always chokes. Wow. So Germany, before they started, actually in their team picture, put their hands over their mouths to show that they were being silenced and that they weren't allowed to express what they wanted to say. Oh, hello. Denying us that armband is the same as denying us a voice. It wasn't about making a political statement. Human rights are non-negotiable. That should be taken for granted, but it still isn't the case. That's why this message is so important to us. Denying us the armband is the same as denying us a voice. We stand by our position. Armband or no armband, we stand by our position. What's Roy saying about this? Roy Keane says we'll wear the armband. Roy Keane says it's a gesture, it's a start, but they could do more. Roy Keane's not having it. Roy Keane's not having it. Get the snipers out for the whistlers in the crowd. It's torture, says Tilius. Bananas and Grapes said, can Saudi Arabia shock the world twice in a row? Well, I mean, I feel like the world will be watching them in their next game to see if they can repeat it. Was it a fluke? Or is this a team that we have really underestimated? Saudi Arabia come into this World Cup with odds of around, I think it's 500 to 1 to win it. They are some of the biggest odds, some of the biggest outsiders. In fact, scrap that. It's 1,000 to 1. It's 1,000 to 1 that Saudi Arabia win this World Cup. They are really some of the biggest outsiders. I mean, Ghana is the lowest ranked team. Ghana is the lowest ranked team, and their odds are 500 to 1. Do you know, Saudi Arabia might be the biggest outsiders at this tournament. They might be the biggest outsiders. So it is absolutely stunning. I don't know if there is another team that have got odds of 1,000 to 1. I mean, maybe the likes of Costa Rica, but yeah, I mean, it's stunning. It's stunning. We've either really underestimated Saudi Arabia and just read them wrong, or it was just one of the biggest sporting flukes and miracles of all time. So yeah, I think the world will be watching for that next game. Days, can I tweet you something about WWE? I don't want to say it's a rumor. Why don't you just say? It'd be better if you just put here, if it is a rumor, just say, this is only a rumor. I'm not saying that it's true, but this is something that's doing the rounds, right? And we will go, okay, thank you for letting us know. That's interesting. And we will say that. this is a safe space, Edward. You know that we will treat whatever you say with love and respect, and no one's going to drag you for any comments that you make here. You're amongst friends right now, Edward, so feel free to put it in the chat. Rainblood said, what is your biggest audience ever? I don't know, to be honest. I know the biggest stream ever was when we did Conor versus Khabib in UFC. It's actually a stream you can't find now, which will mean that everyone won't believe what I'm about to say. But it is true that that stream actually did 1 million views. Did over 1 million views, that stream, for the Conor McGregor versus Khabib fight from 2018. I think back then, to be honest, I'd love to take the praise for it, but I think back then the truth is that there wasn't as many people that was doing UFC, and we've seen a lot more people come along and do UFC watch-alongs now, so it's a much more competitive market. So it was a massive fight, one of the biggest fights. I think it is the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history. So it's the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history. There was very few people that were doing watch-alongs for it. I think we'd built up a nice level of credibility because we'd been doing wrestling streams for a while at that point. And so there was an established audience that joined us. And then that obviously meant that it got higher up in the kind of ratings. And actually the stream was trending as well. We managed to get onto the trending thing for YouTube. So we were actually trending at one point. We have actually trended. And so it did like over 1 million views. I think fairly consistently throughout the stream, there was like 14,000 that were watching. It was just, it's one of those things that's kind of out of your control, as a few things are on YouTube. But sadly, because that was quite early in my streaming career, I had like the sound on, so you could hear the sound. And so it was a case that I'm just a bit uneasy about it now, because you can hear some of the audio. I'm worried that if it was still live and like up on the channel, I'm worried that it would eventually get flagged for like a copyright thing. And so that's why it's hidden. So yeah, nothing, like no other reason. It's only hidden for that reason. Because you might notice that when we do streams, like the sound is pretty low. There's a few times people are like, oh, I can hear your TV, or you might need to turn it down. But by and large, there's no footage, there's no sounds. And that's because, like, it's not allowed. We don't have the permission for it. Well, this was early in my streaming career, so the TV was on. It certainly wasn't a focus. It was just on, and I was close enough where I watched it back, and you could hear a fair bit. Which might also be why it did so well, because maybe people jumped in and they could hear, like, the odd bit. It wasn't like it wasn't like I was just sat here silent and you could hear the commentary and whatever. It certainly wasn't that. It was normal, like us talking, but it was just you could hear it like in the background. And it did over 1 million. So that's hidden now because I'm worried about the copyright stuff on it. But that's the biggest. Days, your England-Iran stream is at 9,000. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased. I think it's so hard to know like how these streams are going to go, because obviously it's hard to know like who's into it in our community. It's the World Cup, so people are going to be into it, but they're only going to be into that maybe their teams. Like, how many people care about Germany? How many people care about Spain? Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a step into the unknown, isn't it? So I think my feelings on it are, this is stuff that I love watching. I know many of you do as well. And it's a case of, I'd be watching it anyway, so why not stream it? So, I'm enjoying it. It's going well. Loving it. And really grateful for everyone that's joined us. Days, apparently The Rock could return at the Rumble. I would be surprised, because I expect him to be at WrestleMania, but I would be surprised if he came back at the Rumble. I think if he comes back at the Rumble, then they've done well to secure him for quite a few dates. I think that I expect him to be free for WrestleMania. I expect him to show up at like the odd Raw or something, SmackDown. Outside of that, I just presume he's a busy man. So could he be at the Rumble? Sure. Do I expect him? Not really. No, not really, just because he's a busy guy. But if they can get him, brilliant. So, yeah, that's not out there, actually. I thought you was going to come up with something wacky, saying that, WWE are interested in buying Man United. Right, teams are coming back out for the second half. Rainblood said Germans would watch a German stream. Most of us probably watch English speakers. Yeah, that's true, actually. I actually had a comment from someone saying, I love your streams, but I am going to choose to watch this in Arabic instead. Which, I mean, yeah, fun fact, I can't speak Arabic. So I get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, people want to enjoy the World Cup in various different ways. And, I mean, God, you want to talk about competitive? I'm fully aware there's hundreds of streams for this game and for every game. So I'm very, very aware of how competitive it is. So look, we're just doing our thing. What will be, will be. But it is greatly appreciated, people joining us and sharing their thoughts. We've got Tomiyasu coming on. So we've got a halftime substitution for Japan. They are in a huddle as well. They are obviously only one goal behind. It could have been worse. Could have been better. But they're still in this game. They are definitely still in this game. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this second half goes. It's obviously only halfway through the game. And Germany, they looked all right. They didn't look terrible. They looked all right. I think that they might have settled into this now. I think they know what Japan are about. They've had a taste of it at 45 minutes. I think there's a respect there. But I think Germany probably feel that they are more likely to get the second than Japan are to score. That's certainly how it felt as we were getting to the end of the first half. James, shout out to you, said, do you think JBL will end up having a match with Baron Corbin? I don't think so. I'm not anticipating that. I don't know where JBL is in regards to actually competing in ring. He doesn't, watching him move and like make his way down to the ring, I don't know that he strikes me as being that mobile. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know he's not that old, but I don't think he's been keeping up with him ring. So unless he's going to do like a big kind of like training program and get the ring rust off and, try and churn out one more match, I don't have a read, or I don't have a feeling that it's going to go that way. Corbin could absolutely turn on him and then go off on his own, but I think it would be a bit more like, how they used $1 Million Man in NXT. Skied over there by Gnabry. So the ball came over to the right-hand side. Germany broke forwards. Plenty of numbers back for Japan. And he took a shot and skied it over. That was a good opportunity, actually, for Germany. So they broke. Japan had numbers back. It was 3-on-4. And probably had time to choose a better option there, Gnabry. Got into the penalty area. There was a few options available to him. And I think he took the wrong one. Japan being pressed back at the moment. They're trying to play the ball forward into the midfield, headed up in the air. Bouncing around comes to the Japanese defence. Back to the keeper. Is being closed down. Now the defender being closed down. He had to quickly get the ball out. It's gone out for a throw-in. So it's going to be a throw-in to Germany. It's all happening. Chris said Raw was awful this week. Yeah, not the best. Not the best. Germany are looking dangerous, says Smitster. Edward said, your KSI fight just did more views than any of the Jake fights you've done, and it's done more than AJ Usyk and more than UFC 281 and WrestleMania. Yeah, it was a very popular one. KSI is very popular. So, I mean, we're definitely going to look to do him against Dylan Dennis. That seems to do well, those YouTube fights. Even the Jake Paul ones do well. Ball being launched forward, down the line, chested down, played back and kept in play, just trickled out. I'm trying to be positive, says Chris. Yeah, I mean, look, it was a go home. it was a go home. There was a really interesting point made on the stream yesterday where someone was like, maybe we should have less pay-per-views because less pay-per-views means less go home shows. And I was sort of like, that does make sense if you think about it. Like, it would be nice to not have to have, like, you know, a go-home Raw and a go-home SmackDown because they said, you know, 12 shows means 24 go-homes. And you go, Jesus, I have to sit through 24 go-home shows in a year. 24 go-home shows in a year. I could definitely do with less of them being in my life. So, yeah. I mean, it is true. If you think about, like, a TV show, like, say, you know, I don't know, Stranger Things. Do you know what I mean? Like, their stories just nicely build and play off. Like, they don't build up to a movie. It's not like the series builds to a movie and then a load of good stuff happens in the movie. And then you go back to the TV show to build to another movie. Like, everything plays out in that TV show, doesn't it? So, wrestling's a bit unique like that. Once a month, they build to a big pay-per-view. Shot goes in and goes over. And I love pay-per-views, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I wouldn't mind if we got some more exciting stuff happening on the shows and didn't just build so much for the pay-per-views. I feel like Triple H is looking at that, though. I mean, we are seeing the Miz and Dexter story, for example. And obviously, like, the Sammy situation, that's playing out on the TV shows. You know, that's just a nice little thing that's going on. The Bray stuff has not been, like, for pay-per-view so far. Can't say that the pay-per-views have really been anything to shake a stick at in regards to Bray. So that's playing out as well. So there's definitely some stuff that they are doing just on the shows, but there's still a lot that's obviously being built for pay-per-view or premium live event. Here's Germany. Ball in the middle. 5 minutes gone in this second half. Ball over to the left-hand side. Here's Musiala. Oh, he gets past the player on the inside. And again, takes a shot, skies it over. Oh, God, look at him showing his skill. Jeez, look, picks it up, edge of the area, gets past one player, got three around him, beats the whole Japanese. If he'd have scored that then. Ali McCoist is like, he's just got to finish it. All he's got to do is finish it. It is exquisite. It is exquisite. Oh my God, that's one of the best moves and movements we've seen at this World Cup. At the age of 19, I feel sick that England lost him. I feel sick. I'm gutted. I'm gutted. We're going to be sat here in 10 years' time talking about how he is just one of the best players in the world. I mean, I feel like we could have that conversation now. And he's 19. If you're not watching this game, you need to see what Musiala just did. He picked up the ball on the edge of the area, went into the penalty box. He had 3 Japanese players around him. He managed to turn, get past them, had another player come in. He then, I love that he went to shoot, but faked them out. So they went down thinking that they were blocking a shot. He never took the shot. Knocked the ball forward, created the space, and then just couldn't put it in the back of the net. Just skied it over. I mean, that would be easily the best goal of this World Cup so far if he'd have scored that. And potentially would have been goal of the tournament. I mean, the build-up play there, beating pretty much the whole Japanese defence on his own. I mean, oh, God. So good. So good. Said Musiala is the player to watch, but wow, should be scoring that, said Dortnight. What's your most viewed and favourite video that you've done? Well, the most viewed are all toy hunts, aren't they? Ball to the back post and it goes over. I think my favourite video is an early toy hunt. It's like the second toy hunt I did. It's the one where we find Finn Balor. That's my favourite because that changed the channel. I think when you do YouTube, there tends to, you need a video, you need a few videos, of course, that are going to really grab attention and do something. And those toy hunts, they did it. They grabbed people's attention. People enjoyed them, and I'm eternally grateful for that. And that changed the channel. I mean, without those toy hunts, the channel wouldn't have got the foundation it needed for then the other stuff to have followed. And who knows, we might not be sat here now if it had not. I think a lot of people start YouTube and it doesn't quite work, or that those videos don't arrive and they give up. And there's loads of people that start a channel and then give up and walk away. And it's hard. It's hard to find those videos that are gonna, and it never goes away as well. Even now, you're constantly trying to find the content people want. Hence why, we do UFC, we do boxing, we do football. Like, we're constantly trying to find what is it that people are going to be entertained by offside by Japan. So I think everyone I think is probably quite fond of the ones that helped build the channel. And that early toy hunt, definitely. I'd probably watch it now and be like, it's cringe, but doesn't really matter. It served its purpose. It did what I was hoping it would do, and people enjoyed it. So very good. Ball going over to the left-hand side, cutting on the inside. Japan are there. We're in Germany's half. Musiala, quite deep. Bursting forward. Plenty of Japanese players back, but it is 3-on-3. It is 3-on-3, and Germany are through, but the keeper's out. He's dropped the ball, though. He's dropped the ball. We've got a real problem here as referee blows the whistle. The Fortnite video, said Isri. Yeah, I mean, the Fortnite stuff was really interesting because it was red hot at the time. And I remember a load of people going, oh, do you play Fortnite? Are you playing Fortnite? I mean, can you remember when Fortnite, exploded on the scene? It really was, a big talking point. And I was quite regular having people asking me if I played Fortnite, and I don't. So the conversation was like, no, I don't. But then, the figures came out, and everyone was like, oh, you should get these because, Fortnite's red hot. You do the wrestling figures. You should, have a look at the Fortnite ones. And I looked at them, and I was genuinely thought they were pretty cool because there was, vehicles, and there was weapons, and there was, chests, and you could open them up, and there was, loads of different guns, and the different characters were really interesting because they're all the different skins in the game. And I think Fortnite is a game I probably would have enjoyed if I'd had time to play it. So, we did it. I remember I went out and got the figures when they came out, the first season. The videos blew up. I mean, I knew that they would because people were, really into it. And then Fortnite Jazzwares actually sent through a box of figures for me to do another video. Did that. That did really well, and it was just, but like all things, it's a bit of a fad. And then once it fades and the excitement goes away, then it's sort of, do you know what I mean? But those videos did so well because, there was so much excitement around it. But, I mean, to be honest, I was at that point, I was like, man, maybe I should go more into just different kinds of figures. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I should do the wrestling ones, but I'm open to having a look at some of the other stuff. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I've always, had a little look at the Star Wars figures when I've gone to the toy shops. I'm not a Marvel fan, but I've always had a look at the Marvel figures. What do they look like? What's the articulation like? All of that. So that did kind of go across my mind at that time. Ball in the middle and whipped out. Japan trying to drive forwards. But a bit too much on it and it goes wide. 12 minutes gone. Rainblood said, I just typed in Germany, Japan live. Oh, that's interesting. I appreciate that. It's always interesting to know how people find us. So shout out to you. Days, the only fantasy play I have is with the German ladies sitting 3 rows up in the midfield. They're beautiful. I feel like you've said that before, LDTV, and I feel like we've responded to that comment, and I feel like now you're coming across like a perv. Just being honest, mate. Just being honest. If you're still sat there thinking the exact same thing you was thinking around about 40-odd minutes ago, that's a concern. Right, we've got Spain taking on Costa Rica. That's coming up next. We've got just over half an hour left to go in this game. Just over half an hour left to go. Germany on the ball, passing it around. Going back to the German defence. Neuer on the ball. So playing it forward down the line into the middle of the park. Ball balloons up into the air. So Germany are passing it around. They're keeping possession. Ball being played forward. Seeing Germany now trying to... brilliant work by Musiala, keeping that in play on the left-hand side. Edge of the area. Playing it out to the left. Whipped into the middle. Headed clear by Germany. By Japan. Germany looking to put the pressure on. They win that second ball. Kimmich on the ball right now. Germany again building. They're being very patient. They're doing some good work. I want to have a look at the stats. 77-23. Here we go. Looking to take a shot. Oh, off the post by Germany. Gundogan. It's a shot and it cracks off the post. I tell you what, Gundogan's looking quite dangerous. He might be quite good to have. Germany look like they're going to get out the group. Unless obviously Japan cause a bit of an upset. But Gundogan's on penalty duty and that is close. Bang. Dink. Dinks off the post. 16 shots by Germany. 3 by Japan. 5 on target by Germany. Nothing for Japan. Germany are clearly the better side. And they've played some nice football as well. Here they go, picking up the ball in the middle. Oh, it couldn't make it through. Germany again getting close. Getting close. Oh, Japan are living a charmed life, man. But it is still 1-0. And now here come Japan. They're breaking. Japan are breaking. Plays the ball over to the left-hand side in the penalty area. And that was not the right option. Yeah, that was not the right option. The ball going over. We've seen some substitutions made by Japan. So we've seen Maeda go off and Asano come on. We've seen Nakatomo go off and Mitoma come on. Obviously, Tomiyasu coming on after 46 minutes. Oof, head in their hands there, the Japanese fans. Drama. Come on, Germany, said Legend Killer. Ball being played in the middle. Chested down there by Germany. Germany trying to bring the ball away with Musiala. Musiala to the halfway line. Knocks it over to the left-hand side. Ball played back. Being passed around at the back at the moment by Germany. Number 23, Schottelbeck. Knocking it back to Neuer. Let's have a look at how people are scoring at the moment. So, right now we can see Gundogan 7.7. Looks like he is man of the match right now. Kimmich 7.6. Musiala score going up just a little bit. Musiala trying to beat his man there. Gets fouled. Musiala gets fouled. If they lose Musiala, that would be a massive loss to Germany. He has looked so lively for them. I'll tell you what is exciting, though. I'll tell you what is exciting. If you look at the players that England have produced, I mean, Musiala came through the Chelsea Academy and played at, like, England's youth levels. And look at the player that he has become. I mean, I'm sure that it is natural talent. I'm not saying that this is down to training. I'm certain that it's natural talent. But just look at the player that he's become. And then have a look at the likes of Foden. Look at the likes of Bellingham. Look, you know, there's players that are being produced that are coming out of this England setup now that we just have not been seeing before. It's very rare that we see players of that kind of technical ability. I mean, look at Bellingham. I mean, Bellingham just absolutely stunning in that England game. And here you've got Musiala taking on people and beating them. Not bothered about having 3-4 people around him. Cool as you like. Just dances through them. It's so exciting to see these players coming through and to be connected to that England setup in any way. I don't know who else is coming through. It makes me want to look and see who else is on the way. I know that Bellingham's got a brother as well, but haven't heard as much about him. I don't know if Musiala's got a brother, but we definitely need to tie him down if he has. What does it mean for France? What do you mean? They beat Australia 4-1. They're sitting pretty in their group. So I think France are head of the group. Denmark drew, didn't they, with Tunisia? So it's France looking pretty good for going through at the moment. Ball being kept in by Japan. And Rudiger was chasing after it there. Number 18 for Japan was trying to get on the end of it. Rudiger, though, was equal to it. There we go. Look at that. He did throw in a couple of gallops there. Rudiger, he was having a lovely time. Couple of gallops. Rudiger was galloping towards the ball. Germany on the ball. Japan win it back, though. We are into the final 25 minutes. Offsides. Do you see how the sofa score ratings are rubbish? Musiala is easily the best player on the pitch, but it's the worst rating. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say is that I think what they do is they look at certain parameters. And I don't know if these parameters are weighted correctly. I mean, Musiala has been fantastic. It's been so dynamic. But according to the stats, he's only won 3 of 12 ground duels. He's had lost possession 14 times. And I think they look at these numbers and that's how it affects the score. But I don't know that it doesn't feel like a real reflection of the game. I don't know that anyone can look at Musiala and say that he is the worst player on the pitch. I don't think anyone can do that. He's the worst player on the pitch. So, yeah, I agree. I feel like the weighting is not correct. Rudiger should transfer to Cairns. Ball in the middle. Shot comes in by Japan. Bounces off the German defender. I think it was Rudiger. And that's going to be a corner. France's Lucas Hernandez has torn his ACL. Jeez. I mean, the only thing I would say is that's gutting for him. And I am gutted for him. Obviously, from an England point of view, I'm thinking, well, that helps. But I was really impressed with Theo Hernandez that came on his place, to be honest, that replaced him. I was really impressed with him. So the problem with France is that, Japan trying to head towards goal. The problem with France from an England perspective is they lose a player and their replacement is just as good. Lucas Hernandez's World Cup campaign is over, ruptured an ACL. Hernandez, who plays for Bayern Munich, limped off. He was replaced by his brother Theo Hernandez. France has seen several players ruled out. There we go. I mean, it is what it is, and I don't know. I mean, I feel sorry for him, and I don't know that it makes France any weaker. The only thing I would say is that if they lose Theo Hernandez, then I think they start to get a bit weaker. From an England perspective, I could really do with Germany losing Musiala. I could do with Mbappe getting injured. You know, these are the kind of injuries that I'm looking for. Ball going down the line. Who do you see making it midway through the World Cup? Well, I feel like the big nations have all pretty much performed. Obviously, with the exception of Argentina. England obviously doing very well. France doing well. Germany look like they're going to win this. Germany have been the better team here. Argentina are the ones that have really slipped up. Netherlands obviously getting it done in the end. So, I mean, look, these first games, as we've said, these first games, no team wants to lose the first game. Your first game in particular is going to set the scene, really. Ball in the middle. Here's Japan. Gets a shot off, but well defended. Rudiger's a monster, man. Rudiger is a monster. What's Rudiger's score? Because it's so good. He is 7.2. 7.2. Look at him. He's right there. He's always there. I tell you, if you've got Rudiger in your defence, you feel so much calmer. I think this has been a great performance by him. He's got great pace. He reads the game well. Ball in the middle. Japan trying to get on the end of it. They're still in this game. It's nervy for Germany. But yeah, I mean, it feels like the big nation's going to get through. I feel like Argentina will respond. There is normally a big nation that goes out in the group stages, though. I mean, maybe it will be Argentina this time. You know, as we said last time, Germany never made it out the group, so you rarely do you get the top two nations of the groups all going through. So I do expect someone to struggle. My hope is that it's just not England. That's it. Ball being played back to the goalkeeper. Keeper launching the ball forward down the right-hand side. Come on, Germany. 47X Prince said, is it coming home? I think we've got a long way to go before that, to be truthful. I think that England are pleased with how the first game went. I think they're aware that this is a group they should be getting out of. They are also aware that if they get to the quarterfinals, it's potentially France that they're going to have to play. Ball being dinked in. Gnabry trying to get on the end. Shot is saved by the keeper. Germany looking on the edge of the area. Shot comes in. Another save by the keeper. Japan need to sort themselves out here. They need to sort themselves out. The ball's going to get whipped in. Germany towards goal. Another save. Another save. Oh my God. That Japanese defense just did not look switched on. Did not look switched on. There was no looking around. Like, none of that. They were just so static. If I was that goalkeeper, I'd be fuming. The shape, the organisation, atrocious. You could just see that he was going to need to do more work. They're just standing. The shot comes in. They're just standing there. There's no reaction. The ball is saved. It's pushed back out. Falls to a German player. Japanese defenders just watching the ball flying around them. Man, I'd be livid if I was that Japanese goalkeeper. I would be livid. It was literally like he just had mannequins standing in front of him as Germany were just winning all the second balls. Ball gets whipped in. Goes across and goes out. 19 minutes left to go. Tilius says, keeper on fire. Richard said the keeper is carrying Japan. Europeans have not lost so far, says the game. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. European teams then showing up in Qatar. And do you know what was really interesting? I remember the build to Qatar. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about human rights and all of that, but one of them was like, oh man, we're going to struggle in Qatar. It's going to be so hot. It's going to be so hot. We've not seen any examples of that. Like, I don't know what they've done with these stadiums in regards to the air conditioning, but we are not seeing any slowdown by the teams. We're not seeing, like, drinks breaks or anything like this. Like, the game is just normal. Like, they're still battling. We're not seeing players, like, having to take deep breaths. We're not seeing, like, the humidity being a problem. We're not seeing, like, oxygen being a problem or anything. It's not like they're, like, lay down at the end of the match absolutely shattered. It feels like a normal game. So, I mean, credit to Qatar for that and their stadium designs. It seems like a very comfortable atmosphere for the Europeans. England, you know, we don't travel well. If you're going to put us in a hot country, I mean, we're going to struggle. I don't know how we're going to get on at the next World Cup, for example. That is going to be a concern. Playing in that kind of heat. Here's Japan. Oh, saved by Neuer. It's a great save by Neuer. That is a big save by Neuer. Japan get into the penalty area. Oh, what a save. What a save. Saying that he should score. Oh, God, he should score as well. That's gutting for Japan. Ball is played in. Oh, it's such a great... That is the save of the tournament so far. Single-handed. Not easy as well. He has to really stretch. I think the follow-up would have gone in, but how did they not score that, says TD. TD said, this is wild. Rudiger is such a good defender. Chelsea should have done everything to have held on to him. They really should. They really should. Should have scored, says Unlearning. How you doing, buds? What a save. It's a brilliant save. It's a brilliant save. It's a brilliant save. Outstretched, single-handed. 17 minutes left in this game, and it's been really interesting stuff. Japan should be level. Well, you could say that Germany should be ahead, but yeah, that was a brilliant save. Oh, there's real frustration amongst the Japanese. Saki has gone off. Minamino has come on in the 74th minute. It's not a bad substitution to bring on, is it, Minamino? Not a bad substitution at all. Ito trying to find a way forward. Can't get past the German lines. Germany living a charmed life at the moment. 1-0. Are they going to regret not putting some of those chances away? 9 shots on target. Here's Japan again. Ball. Oh, and it's in. Japan have scored! Japan have scored! Wow! Wow! Will Germany regret not scoring? Yes, they will. As Japan put it in. Wow! There's still twists and turns left in this game. Wow, wow, wow. Number 8. Yeah, I mean, another great save by Neuer. Neuer showing that he is on top form. Pushes it out into the middle, though. The only thing I would say is Neuer makes a good save. Obviously can't hold on to it. Knocks it into a very dangerous area, unfortunately. Look, he ends up knocking it right into the penalty area. And it's slotted away by number 8. Huge goal for Japan. Now, can they hold on? Can they hold on? So, it's an assist by Doan. An assist by Doan. They're saying, Doan is the scorer. Doan is the scorer. Did Doan assist himself then? What the flip? Doan only came on, according to this, in the 71st minute. So Doan is... How did Doan assist himself? I don't understand what SofaScore's telling me there. Let's drop this down then. Wow, this has been a good game, you know. I've really enjoyed this game. Really enjoyed this game. We've had a fair bit of incident in it. So Ritsu Doan. Ritsu Doan in the 75th minute. Don't know who the assist was. We'll have to find that out. Here's Germany. Japan picking up the ball. They look good going forward, Japan, you know. Do look good going forwards. Yeah, at the moment it says, is there 2 Doans? How many Doans have they got in the Japanese side? Go Doan, scoring it in the centre. Here's Japan bouncing around, edge of the area. Would be no assist if it came off the keeper. Good point. He did palm it back out, didn't he? He did touch it and palm it back into the danger area. I wonder if that's just a bit of a glitch with SofaScore then. Doan assisting Doan. Right, 12 minutes left. Good game, says Stephen. The scoring chance came back to bite Germany, says AEW fan. King Leo said Japan's going to win. We're seeing a couple of changes. Musiala is off. I think Havertz is off. Götze is on. The only substitute ever to score a World Cup final winning goal. Goetze. He's come on. That's amazing. That's an amazing fact. The only substitute that's ever scored a World Cup winning goal. Right, Germany have got the ball in their own half. 1-1. Can you believe it? And this group is hard as well because this group has also got Spain in it. And Costa Rica. Not going to be a complete walkover. Ball goes out. Japan battling. Germany are going to be concerned here if they don't get the 3 points, I think. When's Gunther coming in, says AEW fam. They might need him. If touched by opposition, change of direction. No assist is rewarded according to the rules, says Louis. Watson said, enjoying these World Cup streams so far. I'm really pleased to hear that, dudes. LDTV said, with Thanksgiving tomorrow, I want to ask a question. Do England think pilgrims are traitors? To be honest, we don't really get. Well, I think it's taught, but it's not something we really focus on. To be honest, we know that the British were over there. We know about the Boston Tea Party and all of that kind of stuff, but it's not really anything that's dwelled upon or spoken. There's so much British history that it's just a chapter in British history story, if you know what I mean. That is focused on. I feel like the World War II is focused on more. Oh, ball is through here and straight through. But I mean, if you think about all the medieval times and all the various kings and Napoleon and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. I don't. It's not really ever discussed, to be honest. So it's hard to say how British people feel about it because I think the honest answer is they don't feel anything. It's just part of it's a chapter in a rich history. Ball is forward with Japan right now. Goes down the line. Germany need the simp scripts. King Leo said, I'm still shocked at how Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. AEW fan said, my question is, how long does your new PM last for? Oh, he's doing all right. I mean, we don't do politics in regards to like British politics or anything, but I mean, he ain't gone already, has he? So he's certainly doing better than the last one. Ball being whipped in, headed clear, up in the air. Bouncing around, headed over by Germany. Germany are the team that are putting the pressure on at the moment. Goes down the line. Lovely little turn by Godse. Ball bouncing around. Japan on the ball, chesting it down. It's up in the air. Japan trying to bring it out. Japan have looked good when they're breaking. And they've certainly got pace in the team. This is where the added on time is going to become really interesting because, of course, normally you'd have a couple of minutes. Now we've been seeing 7 minutes, 8 minutes. I mean, we could still have a good 16 minutes of action left in this game. I'm surprised Japan and Germany are both tied, said Nadula. Adam said, do you celebrate Thanksgiving? It's not a thing in this country, no. Oh, he skied it. Is it in? Is it in? He's gone running down. He's put it in. Absolutely incredible. Incredible. It's just a free... I mean, it's a free kick in their own half. Look at this. It goes forward. It's picked up. It's route one. It's absolute route one. Is he going to be onside? Are they checking the onside? Are they checking? Say no in the 83rd. I'm just waiting for something to go wrong here. What is this World Cup? It's been kicked off where it's all good.
Asano in the 8th. This is... Wow. Wow. Incredible scenes. Bouncing around. Edge of the area. It's cleared there by Germany. I think we've got a bit of lag, as I think probably everyone's just jumped on to see that goal. So it's probably why we've experienced a bit of lag at this moment. But yeah, it's hopefully going to settle down now as we get towards the end of this game. We've got 5 minutes left. Absolutely incredible. So again, for those that haven't seen the goal, it's a free kick in their own half. It's a long ball. It goes up and over like everyone. Asano runs onto the end of it. He's got a defender right by his side. The finish is incredible. And he skies it. It's very Giggs-esque, actually. Skies it right into the roof. Thought he had missed it. The chance comes out of nowhere. I mean, wow. Wow. This team needs to be taken seriously. They've held on. They've not been blown away. They've come back and managed to find 2 goals late on. I bet Japan cannot believe it. I bet Germany can't believe it. Germany are going to need to get a result against Spain. Wow. Wow. Japan is a threat in this tournament, said Harith. Not a massive shock. Japan did well in the last World Cup, said Steve. I think it's a shock in the sense that they are expected. I mean, look, Germany are not expected to come here and underperform. You know, Germany historically have been so good. They went out early in the last World Cup, and they've been very focused on ensuring that that doesn't happen again. Germany are 12-1 to win the World Cup. So if you put £1 on them, you'd get 12 quid back. Japan, 500-1. 500-1. If you put £1 on Japan, you would get 500 back if they won the World Cup. And, oh God, it's incredible. Look at the scenes. The subs go running down. I mean, they are a decent side. They are a team that should be respected. They're certainly not a team that anyone's going to expect to walk over. But wow, are they a team that people would have expected to have beaten? Germany, we were just looking at a replay. A Japanese player went down. Rudiger's played so well in this game, and there's big questions. There's lots of boos here. I think they're not happy with that challenge by Rudiger, but we didn't see it because we were watching a replay. Yeah, the Japanese manager's not happy. Let's have a look here. So the ball comes down. Rudiger has got his hands on the player. Don't know. It's not given. Yeah, it's not given. We're back underway. This is where the extra time's a problem, to be honest, now. Now you don't want the extra time. I would love Germany to go out. Germany have had so much success in their history, they can absolutely sit out for a World Cup. They've already been, their 0-0-3 games were only used to those in this last World Cup. Germany's performance is awkward. I shame myself for the country, says WWE Meets YouTuber. Mokoko's come on. Moukoko has come on. Gnabry off. The 17-year-old is on. Here we go. Could he make a name for himself? He's not got any time to do it. Ball is wide, headed wide. At the moment, they're getting nothing from this, and I bet the Germans cannot believe it at all. Look at the stats. 22 shots, 9 on target. Been a really fun game, this has. This might be the best game I've seen at this World Cup outside of England and USA. Like, it's been close. There's been lots of chances. We've seen 2 goals scored that were both ruled as being offsides. Ball going out, and now we're going to get a shock result as well. Not as big a shock as Saudi Arabia, of course, but still a result that's going to reverberate around the world. 7 added minutes. 7 minutes for Japan to hold on. Jeez. 7 minutes for Japan to hold on. Ball is being played back to that German defence. Again, ball is being played back, and 7 minutes. They're just passing it around the defence at the moment, Germany. Germany trying to get the ball over to that left-hand side. Bouncing around back to the centre, into the middle. Japan trying to chase. They look rapid, man. Japan look rapid. The thing is, you can get at Japan. You've just got to take your chances. You've got to take your chances. If you don't take your chances, Japan can hurt you. We spoke a lot before the game about their forward line with Ito, and we were kind of going through each player. The speed, they're so rapid. Even the subs that come on have got such pace. Wow. Do you think added time will become the norm? Yeah, apparently it is being the norm, yeah. I got a question. What are your thoughts about Dominik Dijakovic challenging Wesley for the title? I don't mind it. Because he looks pretty cool, and I think if he's not going to go straight after, he's got no issues with anyone there, has he? So he can't come in and have a feud. So he might as well come in and go after the mid-card belt. I think he could get that mid-card belt, have it for a little while, drop it, go after Braun. He could have a good run with the NXT title at some point. It's going to take, some time to kind of... Oh, my God, Japan have picked it up again. Japan are charging forward. Whenever Japan get the ball, and even if they're just slightly outnumbered, you still feel really excited because of the pace. It's like, oh, my God, here they come. Trying to find a through ball. Japan not really interested in game management here and trying to see this game out. A third goal would have been very useful there. They're saying that Japan should have been more clinical. Ball being played forward. Headed on. Here's Cuckoo. Ball in the middle. Bouncing around. Ooh. Japan trying to clear it. Goes out. So tense. And you do just feel that Germany are going to get a goal. I feel like Germany are going to get a goal. Makuku putting the ball in. So dangerous. Germany are pleading for a penalty. They're pleading for a penalty here. No, there's no check. Germany have got the ball. Japan are back. Japan have got their whole team back. Ball being played over to the left-hand side, looking to whip it in, but it's blocked. It's going to be 3.5 very uncomfortable minutes for Japan. Do you think Portugal is going to win the World Cup? I don't think so. They're not my pick to win it. They've got a good team. But, and they're more than Ronaldo. Shot from distance, well wide. But, no, they're not the pick to win it. Second half is all Japan, said AEW fan. Imagine Japan qualify for the knockout, said Nidula. Ryan King said, this Japan side reminds me of early Liverpool under Klopp. So exciting to watch. What a turnaround for Japan. Do you remember when Germany beat Brazil like 10-0? Yeah, it was in the knockout round, wasn't it? Was it 2014? I think they knocked Brazil out of their own World Cup. I think that was in Brazil. Fans applauding away. Look at the Japanese fans having a fantastic time. And so they should be. What a hell of a result. Ball being played forwards. Edge of the area. Oh, just wide by Germany. Just wide. Oh, that felt like it was in. That really felt like it was in. We're talking fine margins. Fine margins. Oh. He does keep it down well. Rifles it. Tries for that bottom corner. But no joy. We're into the final 2 minutes. So tense. So tense. Oh. Another upset. Another underdog beating the favourite, said Easy99. Japan on the verge. Can they hold on? Ball being played across. Headed forwards. Booted down the field. Germany. Oh, good tackle by Japan, but Neuer comes out. Neuer gets to the ball. Good work by Neuer. Sweeper keeper. Ball being played forwards, and it's being chased after. That goes out. Is that going to be a Japan throw-in? They are working so hard, Japan, trying to hold on. I've got big concerns about this Japanese defence, though. I mean, they've managed to keep Germany at bay, but that is largely down to Germany's lack of accuracy and their goalkeeper. Rudiger goes down. Looks like it's going to be a free kick. We're into the final minute. I mean, I think we're at the point where we can say Germany are not going to be getting 3 points out of this game. But Neuer has come up. Neuer, the keeper, has come up. They're throwing everyone forward for this. Everyone is forward, even the goalkeeper. Neuer is up. He needs to be up. Here we go, 20-odd seconds. They're going to look to whip the ball in. Germany, free kick well into Japan's half. It's over on their right-hand side. Referee telling the Japanese player to get back a little bit. Neuer, the German keeper, up. Big chance here. Big chance. Final chance. Final chance because the 7 minutes are up. Going to look to whip this ball in. The referee is in the centre having a word with a few of the Japanese players. Here comes the ball. Whipped into the centre. Bouncing around. And it's cleared. It's cleared. It looks like it's going to be a corner. Few Japanese players are down, but there's going to be a corner to deal with. It's out for a corner. There's a few Japanese players down, but it's out for a corner. God, Neuer was causing a problem in there. Tell you what, Japan cheering the fact that they survived that free kick. He's still up, Neuer. He's still up. He's still up to cause problems. He's got some decent height about him. Ball is whipped in, punched out by the keeper. Punched out. All eyes on the ref. Ball being passed around. There might be another attack. Good tackle by Japan. And there it is. Japan win. Japan win. The full-time whistle blows. The Japanese players run onto the pitch. Oh, Japan have beaten Germany. Japan have beaten Germany. Tomiyasu goes down. They gave so much. 24th in the world, Japan. 24th in the world. Have beaten Germany 2-1. And you just don't see this from the Germans. Germany struggled at the last World Cup. What a privilege to be here, says Ali McCoist. Ali McCoy said, I can't remember a coach making substitutions that had such a big impact on the game. Wow. Wow. What scenes. What incredible, incredible scenes. Germany did not take advantage of the chances. They had plenty of them. South Korea beat Germany. And in 2022, Japan beat Germany. Asia conquer Germany. I don't think the World Cup curse has moved past Germany yet, says Richard. Maybe if Germany concentrated on football than politics, then they might have done better, said Tall Paul. I like this Japanese side. It's incredible. Right, we need to wrap this up because we've got another game to get to and we should be doing it now. This added on time is really throwing some of these streams out. But we're going to be right back, immediately back with our next stream. And our next stream is going to be Spain versus Costa Rica. Can Costa Rica shock the world? Because Japan has just shocked the world. And Japan beating Germany. Absolutely incredible. Game over, said Bananas and Grapes. Alex said, this is awesome. When I was in grade school, I learned about World War II. Imagine Costa Rica beat Spain now, said Jaden. Imagine. Right, I'm going to go to our next stream. We'll be live in a second with Spain versus Costa Rica. But what a shock. Japan shock the world.